Welcome into the show. Happy Monday. He's Doug McCain. I'm Bill Reiter. TARIK SKUBAL is a Dodger. And this is DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. The technology could not wait for us to get on the air. Kind of like Detroit could not wait to just get Skubal, I guess, off the books. Trade went down on Saturday, even though the deadline is not for another 54 minutes. We have you covered every turn of the screw, every trade that comes in. We're on Eric Lauer and Justin Robleski and everybody else alert to see if anything happens. We know there's a lot of moves that have happened, but let's just start here and call us if you want, 855-97-LA-FAN. Hit us on the stream in the comments. Get in the mailbag. We'll do that as we always do at 5:30. Your thoughts at the Fan LA, at the Fan LA. Hello, Doug McCain. You were right. Dodgers fans are exultant, and for a not very expensive price, relatively speaking, at least for the remainder of this season, TARIK SKUBAL is a Dodger.
Everyone wanted to know what I would do if the Dodgers didn't trade for TARIK SKUBAL. I guess we'll never know. Hey, but seriously, look, you mentioned it. I mean, you got TARIK SKUBAL for Zaire Hope, for River Ryan, a guy that was on this show and has a lot of potential. He could be one of the best starters in baseball. I mean, he's a guy that has that kind of potential. Zaire Hope, who could be...
Fare thee well, River.
I know, right?
He was a nice dude.
I hit him up last night, exchanged a couple text messages with him, wished him well, said, hey, hope he's going to be a star one day. And he said, hey, I feel like I can be. So he's someone that he feels like can be a star in this league. Zaire Hope is a player that I look at the way this thing all played out. I'm sure we're going to get into it on a deep level here. But I think the very first takeaway was the fact that it happened Saturday and that you didn't get more of a bidding war leading up to Monday.
I'm with you, man. It was such a rush job is the wrong word. I was watching Spider-Man Brand New Day, or I was buying the tickets, I should say. I watched it Sunday when the news came down Saturday, and I just thought, what are they doing? I thought it was going to be an insane haul for the Tigers, and it's not. Look, it ain't nothing, but as Doug noted, it's Zaire Hope, it's River Ryan, and it's Brady Smith. And just to put that in context, the number 25 prospect in baseball, according to the league website, 55 on Baseball America's website for Hope. The 68th prospect in baseball, according to MLB's sort of own rankings, not in the top 100 for River Ryan over at Baseball America, though we've had some people, Keith Law was a guy that had him very highly rated. And Smith, not a top 100 prospect in most of these rankings, including the two that I'm pulling from here. So it's Hope, Ryan, Smith. By the way, Zaire Hope and River Ryan, both 11th round picks, both drafted by other teams, the Cubs and Padres. Smith was a third round pick for the Dodgers a few seasons ago, and you're right. There's a lot of sort of ways to pull on this thing. DMAC here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. But the notion and the idea that the Dodgers are ruining baseball, and you've made this point, they're dominating baseball, they're not ruining baseball, we are 100% aligned. I don't see the oxygen for the fuel for the Dodgers haters when this Hope Ryan Smith is the trade and no other team clearly was willing to top it. It's not as if the Dodgers gave away 5 or 6 top 100 prospects and threw in a couple starting pitchers for good measure. They didn't do that. This is a very, very impressive price from a Dodgers perspective, and no one else was obviously willing to top it.
It is. And I look at this prospect haul that the Tigers got in return, and the fact that they pulled the trigger on that deal on Saturday let you know that there really wasn't this level of bidding war that was out there. You didn't see teams like the Brewers. You didn't see teams like the Atlanta Braves or the Phillies or the Rays or even the Yankees, teams like that. They were content with allowing him to go to the Dodgers. And I feel like the Dodgers in this situation were like we expected. They were that team that could smell blood in the water. And they reminded the rest of Major League Baseball that they're at the top of that food chain. And one of the things we've talked about in this show since we've been doing it for the last 3 months was the fact that Andrew Friedman is someone that's going to try to make a move if it's for a needle-moving impact player. Someone like a TARIK SKUBAL, who not only does he provide a ton of value for yourself and protect you if you do lose one of your starting pitchers, or if Shohei Ohtani's knee doesn't recover, if Blake Snell doesn't come back and stay healthy, if Tyler Glasnow doesn't come back and stay healthy, if Yoshinobu Yamamoto starts to feel the effects of pitching over 200 innings last year, you have ace insurance from that standpoint. Also, you've got the value of keeping away from the Brewers, but I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in Major League Baseball. I'm disappointed the fact that those teams out there were scared to make a big move. And the fact that the Dodgers, as you point out, River Ryan, a really great pitcher, Zaire Hope, a very promising outfielder, Brady Smith, someone who's they're very high on, but he's their fourth best outfield prospect.
Zaire Hope?
Zaire Hope.
He's their third best prospect on the AA team he no longer plays for.
Exactly.
I mean, it's wild. It's the lack of return, and this is not a Dodgers problem. It is a Detroit problem. It's a Major League Baseball problem. For me, DMAC and Reiter, the new 97.1, the fan, the voice of LA Sports, there's a lot of takeaways here. The Dodgers might have one of the great starting rotations in the history of baseball if everybody gets healthy, something we'll hear from Dave Roberts on in a second. It is going to add fuel to the fire, even though it's a lie, the red herring of, now we need a lockout. This will give the owners I think ammunition for the lie they're trying to tell, that the Dodgers are bad for baseball and therefore we have to be the owners more greedy. There's so many. Friedman, something we should talk about. The lack of ambition, because only $9 million is the cost that it would have been to bring TARIK Skubal onto a ball club for the remainder of the year. So if you're any of these teams in competition, the price isn't that steep. He's obviously a free agent at the end of the year, and we'll see where he goes. Hopefully it's as a Dodger. He's going to make a bunch of money. To me, it's what you just said, Doug. The lack of ambition, such a lack of ambition from the other teams in Major League Baseball. It's not shocking that the Dodgers got Skubal. It's shocking they got him on Saturday.
It is, and that's something that blows your mind on so many levels, is the fact that Major League Baseball and the teams that were supposed to be competitive, we're talking about a Brewers team that at the time had the best record in Major League Baseball. We are talking about a Brewers team that has the Cy Young leader in Jacob Misiorowski. If you're not going to try to compete with the Dodgers now, when is it ever going to happen? The Brewers, they were protecting their prospects. The Dodgers, they were protecting their championship window. They were going all in. They were doing what we've seen them do. And when the arguments we kind of got on this show for the last couple of months, where we were talking about Andrew Friedman and could he potentially get a TARIK Skubal, one thing that I kept harping when I presented my original trade package.
Correctly, by the way. Can we have a cheer? Did we get a cheer? Give Doug a cheer.
Hey, I'm not here for the...
Yeah, you are. That's why you brought it up, and I respect it.
Well, so this is the thing.
You called it, dude.
Look, I did call it. The people are calling me D-Maxtradamus. I call
Nobody's
it trades, and
just kidding. Everybody's calling it that.
The streets are calling it. Here's the thing: the reason why my first trade package was River Ryan, Zaire Hope. Obviously, I didn't call Brady Smith. That would have been insane. We'd be on our way to Vegas, and I'd be giving you the lottery numbers too, right? But the reason why I felt like they could get a deal done for River Ryan and Zaire Hope for a TARIK Skubal, and I did not include the Josue Pauls or some of the other Dodgers' top prospects, was because the Brewers have to protect their prospects, because they are not going to go out there and trade for guys because you can't get the free agents with big money contracts like the Dodgers are able to do. They use their prospects in a different way. The Dodgers, they use their prospects as it's an ATM machine, right? Like, that's the ATM. Let's go. Let's get those trade chips. The Brewers, they use their prospects like it's an artifact at a museum. It's like, do not touch, okay? We're not going to touch these guys. We are going to see...
In fairness to the Brewers, look, the Dodgers are ruining baseball argument is garbage. In fairness to the Brewers, I have a lot more sympathy for the Brewers than some of these other teams. They don't have the same mechanism to replenish. So I understand where they have to be very cautious in making... If they don't think Skubal makes them a World Series champion this year, it becomes very, I think, tenuous to trade away players where you can't... It's just going to be harder to build a Major League Baseball team the way you want in Milwaukee than it is, I think, than it is in LA.
There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. But here's the thing. The Brewers basically slapped their fans in the face by saying that even in a year when we have the best chance to do this, we're not going to do it. The Brewers, they counted the cost. The Brewers...
You would have gone for it if you're in Milwaukee.
If I'm Milwaukee, I'm 100%, because one other time you're going to be able to do this. I mean, the Dodgers, they're a great team for sure. But by adding TARIK Skubal, their World Series odds went from 26% to over 30%, right? Which tells you that there's still a really good shot. The odds are the Dodgers will not win the World Series. Baseball, there's a lot of randomness. There's a lot of theater to it. And with the Brewers, yes, they the Dodgers can be a lot more risk averse than other clubs, right? But still, this was a perfect opportunity to throw in prospects and go all in when you have a major, major chance to do something that your franchise has never done. And for all those people saying the Dodgers are ruining baseball because of this move and the TARIK SKUBAL move, taking this over the top, I think this truly is exposing the illusion that other teams out there are trying to win. I think the Brewers are the best example of that. If the Brewers didn't do this now, it tells you they're never going to push all the chips in and try to compete with the Dodgers. And yes, there's a deeper issue here. I'm sure we're going to talk about this throughout the show, but I'm happy about it because the Dodgers end up getting their guy. You have a rotation that on paper is possibly the best in big league history, and it feels like they're in a great position to cover their downside, also go down as one of the best teams in history.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, and we have you covered between now and when the trade deadline locks at 3 o'clock. And so as no more moves come down, especially Dodgers-related moves, we will let you know. We will tell you in real time. We are your source for live information right here in Southern California on the MLB trade deadline. We'll also break down some of the other smaller moves. A few other Dodgers have got Ben Rortvedt for the third time in the last whatever it is, year and a half. He's back, so there's a little catching depth. Chris Bubich is coming. That's sort of from the Royals, starting pitcher, very good season last year, injured. It's a classic Dodgers upside play. So if he becomes something really impressive in 6 months or a year and everyone wrings their hands, just remember Friedman does these things in advance. There's a lot of other moves. Adley Rutschman has gone from the Orioles to the Red Sox. There's a lot of other stuff. Padres acquired Robbie Ray. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moves, but obviously we are focusing on Skubal. And if you want to call us, if you want to talk to DMAC and I here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, it's 855-97 LA Fan, 855-97 LA Fan. And to your point, DMAC, about how good this Dodgers starting rotation is on paper, how good they may be historically when everyone is healthy. Dave Roberts, who we love, who we respect, who's amazing, but who is someone who you have said correctly isn't always going to stand on the rooftops and scream, we're the greatest team of all time. There's a humility there, or at least sometimes not a lack of honesty, but a unwillingness to say the real thing out loud. Even he, in the wake of the Skubal to the Dodgers news over the weekend, could not hide from the historical level of greatness. Maybe the greatest starting rotation maybe we've ever seen in baseball history.
I haven't done the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 side by side, but yeah, I mean it's hard to see any of the guys that I've seen. I don't want to kind of put it against, I'm not talking about the Braves in the 90s, just as far as what I've seen, this is as good as I've seen, yeah.
I mean, dude, that Braves team is the first team, DMAC, that I thought of in turn, Glavine and Smoltz and Maddox and whoever, the lefty. I mean, this is, if Ohtani is healthy from a pitching perspective and Glasnow and Snell are healthy from a pitching perspective, I don't think we've ever seen anything like it.
This team's absolutely stacked beyond belief. We went deep into it this weekend and just kind of looking at other teams that had similar rosters with players that have had those kind of accomplishments. You have to go all the way back to the 1962 New York Yankees, the team that used to dominate baseball, that used to be ruining baseball. And that's how far you have to go to find a team that has 3 former MVPs, which the Dodgers have with Betts, Freeman, and Ohtani. 2 former Cy Young, Skubal and Snell. 2 former World Series MVPs, Freeman and Yamamoto. We were talking about historic dominance when it comes to a roster, and on paper they look great, but you still have to go out there and do something that is more random than other professional sports.
That was in 62?
62.
And there were, 20 teams back then?
Yeah.
And
that was that Whitey Ford team.
The Dodgers have accumulated this where there's 50% more baseball teams than there were in 1962.
Exactly. The star power for this team is ridiculous. And by the way, that Yankees team did end up winning the World Series, so that's definitely a positive omen. But with this roster and with TARIK SKUBAL, the addition of him, you protect yourself if there's an injury. But I think more so, it's just the dominant level where you can go with this. If Shohei Ohtani and Tyler Glasnow want to piggyback on the start, if TARIK SKUBAL wants to be your game 1 starter, they said yesterday that he's there to win a championship. The Dodgers are there to three-peat. And for me, all of this is kind of leading up to do you try to get an extension done with him before December 1st, before they enter a lockout, and kind of how that plays up? But, hey, give Andrew Friedman all the credit in the world. I mean, for so many months on this show, we were talking about, were they going to be as aggressive? Were they going to let him go to another team? Would some of those reports that we heard for the last couple of months where it felt like the Dodgers might have been cooling off on the idea of Tarik Skubal, what I said at the time, what I say now is that Andrew Friedman only speaks when it's time to say checkmate, and you saw that big smile from Friedman this Saturday. He knows what he did, and if it has to piss off the baseball world, which I would love to get into as far as...
I mean, it's not his problem. It's not any competitor's problem to worry if the people you're beating the living crap out of are pissed off. It's DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. So the benefit, I really wish this had happened 3 minutes ago, selfishly, at our show, but the benefit of having a couple days, you get to sort of mold these things over. And DMAC, here's what hit me over the course of the weekend. Andrew Friedman is the Shohei Ohtani of American sports executives. He is armed with the money. That is absolutely true. But this trade just signifies that he's also capable of being or operating as the equivalent of the best small market, have to find deals and diamonds in the rough front office people in baseball, which he did when he was in Tampa Bay. Hope, Cubs prospect. It's the Dodgers who identified what he could have been and developed him to a level where they could trade him for Skubal. River Ryan, Padres prospect, also 11th round, like Zaire Hope. It is the Dodgers who recognized what he could be and got him in a trade and developed him the way that they did. Brady Smith, 3rd round Dodgers draft pick a couple years ago. Friedman is better at player identification in other organizations, at player development in his own organization, and at using the might of his baseball greatness and the might and muscle of the Dodgers pocketbooks and willingness to spend money to do what no one else will do. He is the best front office person maybe in the history of sports, and that is a part of the reason the Dodgers are the Dodgers and not, say, the Mets.
Absolutely. That's definitely 100% a great way to describe Andrew Friedman, the Shohei Ohtani of baseball execs, of sports execs. I think certainly he has solidified his spot in the sports world as someone that, hey, not only am I going to spend money on free agents, but it's the ability to build an organization. Bill, all these people out there that are upset with the Dodgers, they don't realize that they've been at this for over a decade. This did not happen overnight. If your first reaction is to blame the Dodgers, you're mad at the wrong people. Be mad at the teams that have the talent to compete for Skubal, and instead they chose to play it safe. Andrew Friedman, he didn't make the Detroit Tigers. He didn't make Scott Harris the president of baseball operations for the Detroit Tigers. He didn't make him trade Skubal to the Dodgers. Rob Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, didn't hold a gun to Scott Harris's head and say, hey, you better trade Skubal to the Dodgers. No, they made that trade with the Dodgers because they liked their prospects. River Ryan, in some people's eyes, is the best pitching prospect in baseball. Keith Law, who's the world's foremost baseball prospect expert who was on the show, feels that way, and you get River Ryan for 6 years. You get Zaire Hope for 6 years. Those are two really good pieces, and when you look at how the Dodgers acquired the prospects to get this deal done, Zaire Hope, they acquired him when the Dodgers traded Michael Busch, a player that was blocked for LA. They traded him to Chicago, to the Cubs, and they got Hope and Jackson Ferris. You look at River Ryan. They trade away Matt Beatty, someone who's not even in Major League Baseball right now, for River Ryan, and they developed him into a pitcher, and then they drafted Brady Smith in the 3rd round. And look, I see the argument out there that prospects are more important to the Brewers. They can't miss on a prospect. For the Brewers, it's very $100. If you have $100, it's more valuable to someone that has maybe $5,000 in the bank, right? That $100 isn't as valuable when you have $50 million in the bank. The Dodgers are that team that's working with that $50 million, so it helps.
You're saying that $100 is worth more if you have Bill Reiter money than if you have Doug McCain money. And why is there Doug McCain money? Because my partner, who I have been saying every day that I've been on this show, is the best Dodgers person in the world, literally here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, at the very beginning of this thing a few months ago, called exactly what Andrew, Shohei Ohtani, Doug McCain, Friedman would do to get Tarik Skubal.
River Ryan and Zaire Hope as the centerpiece of a trade. That's the Dodgers top pitching prospect, and Zaire Hope, someone who a lot of upside when you talk to scouts, when you talk to people around the team. There's a lot of boom and bust in his swing. So that's a trade.
Are you throwing a starting pitcher major league level right now? That's the trade.
I mean, look,
those two guys.
Anytime you get one of those types of deals, you're going to
no glass now.
So that's option. I think that this is going for option one of what I think the Tigers would look at.
Called it, owned it, did it, dominated it.
So can I just point out, though?
Yeah.
I didn't set that clip up. I didn't cut that to send to Bursch for a victory lap.
Yes, you did.
I just want to have
and
the
you made
people.
him tell me to throw to it.
Did I really?
Yeah. But I wanted to play.
The doubt in your voice when you said, that's it? That's a trade?
Well, if you remember, if you want to go back, that segment, I believe, was going through a series of possible proposals. And that was your first one.
That was the top option.
Very smart, though, because then there's like 19 clips we could play when the trade went
We
down.
actually only ended up doing 3, but fair enough. But the point...
And I think my role in that was to ask you questions about it. So that I don't know if it's doubt so much as, hey, how about this so we can fill 15 minutes?
Well, there was
here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports.
There was that segment where you made me forcefully tell... Hey, I think this reporter's wrong. I think that reporter's wrong because I felt like, well, there were certain examples. Well, that was Ken Rosenthal. There was Katie Wu was one where you basically made me go out on a limb saying that I felt like their reporting not necessarily was wrong, but that they were still going to be aggressively in on TARIK SKUBAL. And here's the thing.
Talk to me.
I just want people to really be excited about this version of the Dodgers with Zaire Hope gone, River Ryan gone. You get your guy, TARIK SKUBAL. That's all that really matters. You put yourself in a position to go and win a third straight World Series. And guess what? We're going to give you the best Dodgers coverage here on this show.
By the way, you and I both know I can't make you do anything.
That clip was from 4 years ago.
I respect the hell out of you going after the Passons and the Rosenthals and the Woos when it's necessary. And I respect the hell out of the fact that your top guess, your top projection was the exact trade that happened. I also respect the fact that you had basically an emotional meltdown on X this weekend where you screamed correctly, righteously, truly at the top of your lungs to everyone saying the Dodgers are ruining baseball. In effect, like Anchorman, I'll meet you in the alley. And we're going to get into that and why the Dodgers are actually dominating the sport, as DMAC likes to say, not ruining it, and why all these feckless losers who don't understand the difference are about to get a course correction right here, next, on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. We are awaiting the MLB trade deadline locking, coming to a close in about 28 minutes and 15 seconds. We will have you covered if any other news happens. We're going to break it all down at 3 o'clock. We are your spot for all the information and the analysis afterwards. And a quick shout out. Do you know what Circuit is? It's kind of like Uber, I guess, but it's in Manhattan Beach. The Circuit driver who's currently driving my son Henry to soccer has a Dodgers hat on. So shout out to the Circuit driver with
Big
the Dodgers
shout out.
hat on. Congratulations on Skubal. In the chat, they're having a nice time talking about how they feel like, A, you got it right, maybe I got it wrong, but also now a debate about whether I don't just say things to get under your skin, which they find amusing. You're my guy. You're my dude.
Multiple things can be true. Multiple things
my
can
guy,
be true.
dude.
Hey, look, we know. Look, we know. I know the Dodgers more than I know my family. Like I know the Dodgers better than I know my family. I really do. And of course, got some family members of the Dodgers fans that are in the chat talking about it right now. It's good times. I mean, look, here's the thing. This is an organization that is led by, as you point out, the most aggressive, the most bullish, the most committed ownership group that we've ever seen. So guess what? They wanted to show that they are going to go for it all. They want to keep him away. And this is a Dodgers team that's set for another World Series run.
Can we get into, by the way, if you're watching on the stream at the Fan LA on YouTube, at the Fan LA, drop your comments for the mailbag at 5:30. Anything you got, questions, thoughts, issues, we'll get to it. Slam that like button. Let people know that's how you're consuming the show. And remember, you can also listen on the FM when you leave work or however you're sort of watching, if you're watching on the stream. And if you're in the car right now, if you're listening on the FM, program 97.1, that's 97.1, the only FM sports talk radio station in Southern California. You were so pissed off this weekend. I kind of just loved it. I kind of just sat there and ate my popcorn and took it in. Because I do think that the owners are intentionally, deceptively trying to sell and you're right, the notion, the lie that the Dodgers are bad for baseball and or this trade is a sign of that.
And I think that you're absolutely correct, that this was a area where after it did happen, then you can go back and say, wow, this is another example. The Dodgers getting another great player. Their roster is stacked with all these superstars. If they go on and win a World Series again, then the system is broken. Look, the thing is, if one trade at the deadline means the system is broken. No, it was already broken. And if you're a fan out there that already thought that the Dodgers are winning baseball, you're not looking for facts. You're looking for ammunition. You're looking for a reason to continue to cement your point that baseball is unfair and the Dodgers run everything. But here's the truth about all of this in my eyes is that, sure, can we talk about some changes that Major League Baseball might have to make at some point? Absolutely.
I'm actually here for some of them. So here, I was on KNX earlier, and this is my perspective. I actually am here for none of this will happen, but I'm here for a salary cap if there's a salary floor. Because I think that these feckless, full of you-know-what owners, many of them out there, selling the notion that Skubal to the Dodgers proves there needs to be a cap, are just trying to steal more money from their fans and not invest it back in their team. The thing about the Dodgers that people should actually look at, as you know, is that the percentage of revenue that the Dodgers pull in that they put back into baseball ops is remarkably high. Much higher than even small markets by a percentage of revenue than smaller markets that won't do that. And part of the reason I want a cap if there's a floor is that you could force and negotiate. I think the owners would it would be a non-starter for the owners, a floor, as much as a cap is a non-starter for the players, so we would miss so much time. But if I could wave a magic wand, if I could Thanos this thing and snap my fingers, I wouldn't mind a floor. Because I'd like to force these cheap owners who aren't in LA and aren't the Mets who do it badly, aren't a few other organizations, to spend money on their teams. And I also have zero doubt that whatever system you put into place, Andrew Friedman is still going to dominate the holy hell out of baseball, and nothing's going to change in terms of levels of excellence because he's that much better at this game, at what he does than everyone else. You can change the rules as long as you don't change that Friedman's in charge of the Dodgers are going to still dominate.
So I'll start right there. So just talking to people within the Dodgers, former players, one thing that it feels like all of them say to me is if the Dodgers were in a system that had a salary cap and a salary floor, that they'd be 10 to 15 years ahead of basically every
100.
team in Major League Baseball.
It's like
right?
Sam Presti
Yeah.
times 100.
There's no doubt about
In
it.
the
Like,
NBA,
you would
I'm
have
with
an
you.
organization that knows how to spot talent, develop talent, that has the great eye for which players they should sign. But I totally disagree with you on the sense that we need a salary floor, that we need a salary cap. Because to me, I look at that as baseball communism. I don't want to see that. I think the Dodgers should be able to flex what they have built. Because what is the argument, right?
Well,
I mean,
I'll give it to you. You'll never get a salary floor without a salary cap. And so if you could do a salary floor with no cap, I would 100% be here for it. I just think that's not – I'd also like to have a world where my wife never gets mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just think there are some things that aren't possible.
So that's
I love you, Lori.
Respect to Lori, big fan of the show, biggest fan of the show for sure. And then you look at where this team is, though, and the Dodgers in general, right? They didn't create this system, right? They just figured out how to operate in this system better than everyone else. Every single team, and I think the Skubal trade should hammer home the point that even when things are potentially more balanced and fair, when other teams could go and afford what TARIK Skubal cost, which was $9.4 million for the rest of the season, and it cost prospect capital, right? The Dodgers, they have shown the ability to master whatever the rules are. So let's not pretend that the problem is that it's the team that's willing to spend the money and the team that's willing to invest and the team that's willing to develop and the team that's willing to be risky with their moves and take on some of these different players. They're the problem. I think the thing that I look at is when you look at Major League Baseball right now, it's thriving more than it ever has in the history of this sport.
How do you define thriving? Because I'm going to play devil's advocate on you here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. If you're talking ratings, yes, that's an owner's thing, right? If you're talking revenue and the value of franchises, yes, that's an owner's thing. I know you don't care about this, and neither do I, but I don't think the sport is thriving if you're a baseball fan in one of 21 other markets. And so I do think that there's a more complicated conversation to be had.
So since 2000, 17 different teams have won the World Series in Major League Baseball. That's more than any other sport. Since 2010, you've had the Royals, the Cardinals, the Giants have won 3.
2010 is 16 years ago.
But I mean, I think
my son wasn't even alive then. I mean, that's such a long time ago.
And for
dude.
most of that stretch,
did
Dodgers.
the iPhone exist? I think it did.
For most of that stretch, though, the Dodgers had the money and resources that they have now, but they weren't winning because they were spending time pouring into resources to build a foundation, to have a better farm system, to have prospect capital to go out there and make moves like they made now.
I just don't know if baseball is thriving because the Royals won the World Series 130
Well, I'll tell you why.
Ago.
I'll tell you why. So I look at those teams right there. Like you could pick an arbitrary number. You could pick 2010, but I mean,
it's pretty arbitrary.
You look at
1951
when that Royals team, when those Giants teams,
you went 1962.
When
earlier.
those Rangers teams. I mean, you can start at 2000. Even 2000, the parity after the Yankees
Were you alive in
three-peated.
2000?
It definitely was.
Oh yeah, you're older than me. Was Bursch alive? Bursch, were you around? Bursch is 4.
So, but
yes,
so your argument though, Bill, your argument is that teams that aren't the Dodgers, the Yankees, and
are you asking me a question?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Which is what
you just said.
You're making an argument and assigning it to me.
You just said right now that you don't think baseball's thriving for markets that aren't the teams that are competing for World Series titles.
What I said is if you're measuring thriving from the owner's perspective, it's absolutely thriving, which is why the need for a salary cap is greedy beyond belief, and using the Dodgers as a shield for that is evil's a strong word, but is pretty hard to stomach. If you're talking about thriving for other fan bases, I know you're an LA guy, you've been here forever. I haven't, and I've lived and worked in other markets, and I'm just telling you, there are lost generations of baseball fans in other markets. There just are. Now, that's not LA's problem, and it's not LA's fault, and so I'm not taking shots at Los Angeles, but I think to make the argument baseball is thriving plays into the owner's hands because you'll have all these fans out there who don't care about the sort of nuances and aren't going to get into the weeds of whether the Dodgers are to blame or not, who don't think baseball is thriving where they are, and they're like, oh, I guess maybe the Dodgers are bad. I just think it's the wrong argument for baseball, and it's the wrong argument for LA.
See, I think that I disagree because I think that it's the opposite. I think that baseball thriving plays into the players' hands. You mentioned just the differences of markets, right? And since 2010, like I was mentioning, all those teams that won World Series, the Cardinals, the Giants, the Houston Astros, the Texas Rangers, the Atlanta Braves, the Washington Nationals, those teams combined have won more World Series titles than the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Dodgers combined. And you also consider just how much the game has grown across the board. You can start with revenue. Last year, $12.1 billion for the 2024 fiscal year. That went up to $13 billion. Then you look at sponsorships, over $2 billion. You look at team valuations. Team valuation, the average MLB team, the value has gone up 13%.
We're just measuring baseball success differently because I think that money, that'd be a massive success if other teams reinvested that money into their product the way that the Dodgers do. We're saying the same thing, I think, in a different way, and we're going to keep saying it, but I guess we have to do that in a second because the show's going so well. We got a million things you want to listen to on top of this. So we will keep the conversation going. Doug and I will keep arguing. No people in the chat at the Fan LA. I'm not pushing Doug's buttons. I actually mean this. And we'll do some hero nominations around the news that TARIK SKUBAL is now a Dodger, which we know. And by the way, trade deadline locks in 18 minutes. And at every step of the way, we have you covered. So if more news comes down, we'll get it to you and we'll analyze everything after 3 next here on DMAC and Reiter. What up? Welcome back into the show, DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. You know you're spending too much time or just enough time with somebody, and it's you, Doug, when you just have inside joke after inside joke after inside joke.
And when you start dressing like the other person, I feel like I'm rocking like a Bill Reiter special.
I mean, I look
It's
like
like
you.
the black shirt that you wore on D-Fish and Decker the other day.
Yeah, when I was out with the guys.
Yeah.
That was fun. This is a reversal because you're always doing the
Yeah,
branded,
you remember the Fan.
the 97
It's a
on the
great
Fan.
logo.
It is a great logo.
Get you into some hot spots, too.
It hasn't worked
It got
for
me
me.
a table at Disneyland, so
I think that might be more
I'm all
of a
about
you
it.
thing.
I think it's more of like a fan thing.
I think it might be. Maybe it's a combo.
It
movie.
might
You
be
know
a
what I'm
combo
saying?
deal. There you go.
All right, if you want to give us a call, we want to hear from you. What do you think of the TARIK SKUBAL move for the Dodgers? Phone number is 855-97 LA Fan, 855-97 LA Fan. We're going to do our quick DMAC and Reiter Hero of the Day nominations. It's going to be very Skubal centric, and I'm gonna look. I'm leaning into this. I know it's a bit of pandering, but I'm gonna go Andrew Friedman. Like, very easy. And by the way, you vote for these wherever you're hanging out listening. Go to the channel on YouTube at the Fan LA at the Fan LA. We'll narrow this to 4 and we'll announce a winner at the end of the day. Freeman just keeps on doing his thing, man. And I know we have other names we'll put on here. I think he should have strong consideration for the DMAC and Reiter Hero of the Day after pulling off the Skubal trade and pulling it off on Saturday without. It's not a bad package for Detroit. But it wasn't a, oh my God, this is brutal, but I guess we had to do it package.
Hero of the day, hero of the decade, hero of the next 30 years. I mean, he's the guy that has made all these Dodgers dreams come true. So for sure, that's a great one. I'll stick with the trade deadline theme. The Dodgers didn't just add TARIK SKUBAL, they also added Kris Bubic, a former all-star pitcher from the Kansas City Royals, and that's something that Andrew Friedman has done in the last couple of seasons is, he will take a flyer on an injured pitcher if there's upside there. So Kris Bubic, when he's been one of the most fun names to say, by the way.
You know
Kris
Bubic is going to be amazing. By the way, he was an all-star last year, you said. You know he's going to be in a year. He's just going to be amazing.
And he's got this stuff, right?
He's going to be. People making fun of my hair, by the way. It does look a little, including the boss. I might have to nominate my barber.
It's gotten a little crazy today.
It's a little out of. You know what it is? I can't get excited about SKUBAL. I still have the journalism training. My hair's in though.
It is.
It's reaching for the sky.
I'm loving it, baby.
Sorry to interrupt you.
So I got Kris Bubic, baby. That's my first one.
I'm gonna nominate. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is not for the Fauci stuff, by the way. I'm not doing that. I'm not going that place with Aaron Rodgers. But I'm going to nominate Aaron Rodgers, who was on the Pat McAfee show earlier, and I did enjoy that he had this to say about ESPN and Diana Rossini.
What is the network doing? Like, you have literally an individual that maybe used to work at ESPN that covers our league at the highest level, and there's a major scandal, and it's just like nobody can talk about it? What are we even doing
personal
here?
lives are personal lives. I feel like you of all people should know that. But
I understand, but if it's affecting certain things, if there's leaks going on, if there's tampering going on, if that person is also an MVP voter and a Coach of the Year voter. Remember when I won MVP in 2021?
Yeah, how about
and that bum in Chicago?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's real life. Like, how are we allowing these people to have an impact?
I'm throwing in Aaron. This is just proof that I can praise people I don't like.
Wow.
On Rossini, he's right.
That was one of our first really heated arguments was about Aaron Rodgers, and now he's hero of the day. But hey, for the reasons
nominee,
he's a nominee for those reasons.
It's not an arm talent nomination.
Oh yeah, it has nothing to do with his career.
No, it's just today. He is like Andrew Friedman, heroic in this very small way of being great.
The sound of your voice feels like you don't want to give it to him, but you're being forced to.
I gave it to him.
Yeah, okay, I respect it. Okay, I'm going with Jeff Passan. Jeff Passan, ESPN super insider, guest on this show a few weeks ago. When that tweet hit, I went absolutely crazy. I just absolutely went right to double fisted some Modelo's, pop
Where
those
were you?
things. I was actually at Target buying my daughter
You
Toy
were
Story
not
toys.
you were at Target?
I really was. True story. She said that she wanted some Toy Story toys, and I dropped like $250 on Toy Story toys that were kind of for myself. It was kind of cool. I got the wind-up Woody. There's a snake in my boot. I got the Buzz Lightyear. I am Buzz Lightyear. So it was a lot of fun. I got the whole set. So I was there, and I was like, hey, you got a toy, and the Dodgers got the big shiny new toy in TARIK SKUBAL, so we're going home. So, yeah, that Jeff Passan, he was true to his reporting this entire time. He had Jeff, he had Tarik Skubal going to the Dodgers, and ultimately that is where he ended up, and he's just been killing the
He told
game.
us
He did.
on here basically it was going to be the Dodgers.
He did. And he was I had never seen him be that confident
I know.
in a superstar moving at the deadline.
I'm going to apologize to you.
For.
I wish I had taken you as seriously as I took Jeff Passan.
Yeah.
The minute Passan said it, I was in.
You know what?
That's on me.
I'm probably not even gloating as much as I should because
No, trust me. You're doing good.
okay, fine.
That's incorrect.
Is it?
I think so.
Hey, man.
I don't know if this will make the finalist list, but I really hope that it does here on the DMAC and Reiter Hero of the Day, which is a very Skubal-centric thing. And by the way, in 5 minutes and 5 seconds, the MLB trade deadline locks. We have you covered on every single move. We'll go through the list, and we'll let you know if any more Dodgers move. I'm going to go with feckless MLB owners. I don't think the Dodgers get Skubal this easily for this price if these owners aren't so cheap, hypocritical, and disinterested largely in either winning or, in the case of the Mets and a few other teams, being competent. So thank you to every other MLB organization.
Oh, yeah. We'll cook them some more a little bit. But, yeah, look, those owners, they had an opportunity to really show that we're not afraid of the big bag Dodgers, and they just ran. So, yeah, they're scared out there, not making the moves they should. I'm going with Ben Rortvedt, another acquisition. The Dodgers picked up the former Dodgers catcher. He's back. They traded for him at the deadline last year. They trade for him at the deadline this year. He was in the Mets minor league system, so they don't have to put him on that 40-man roster right away. He has a great relationship already with the Dodgers pitching staff. A lot of times when you trade for a catcher mid-season, it's tough to build that chemistry and rapport. Ben Rortvedt, Benny Biceps, as they call him. I got to get back in the gym and lift.
You look good.
Because, no, Benny Biceps, no joke, dude. He's swole.
I'm going to nominate Tarik Skubal.
Okay.
I mean, is that cheap?
Got your Skubal
Is
snacks?
that against the... Yeah. Because you know what? The fact the guy wants to be a winner, the fact the guy wants to compete, the fact the guy is here for all the smoke and all the Dodgers again, I'm down for it.
I'm down for it, too. Tarik Skubal.
If he re-signed with Detroit, right? If he was loyal there.
I drunkenly tweeted out that I would get a jersey for anyone that retweeted a tweet of mine for a Tarik Skubal jersey. So I'm going to be on the hook for a number 29 Tarik Skubal jersey.
Is there still time for me to get one?
You can do it. Retweet it. Maybe you might win. This is my tradition. Anytime there's a big Dodgers trade or acquisition, Tarik Skubal is a great one. I'm going Oral Hershiser. Okay. Oral Hershiser was on this show. He was great. He's a Dodgers legend. He's going to be getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Oral Hershiser. Dave Roberts is going to be there. Oral Hershiser,
That's a great one.
I think he deserves some outside of... I think he deserves some Hall of Fame consideration.
Can I tell
56
you?
WAR.
I'll tell you a secret here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Don't tell anybody. I'm watching as Bursch decides who the finalists are, and he's not writing down most of the things we're giving.
Wow.
I'm not saying he can be the a-hole of the week on Friday. I'm not saying he can't be.
Early contender.
Right?
These are some of our best heroes for a while, too.
Listen to our brilliance, or at least Doug's.
These are great.
I like the Oral Hershiser one. That's a good one.
I've learned from this show, it's like if you come on our show, you're like family. Like you're more than a friend of the show. Okay. It's like I will ride or die for you. So yeah, I got to give him some love for that one.
If you're Dylan Hernandez or Katie Woo, you're in the family, dude.
Yep, I'll ride or die for Katie Woo and Dylan Hernandez.
They were both great.
They were. River Ryan, like I said, I was exchanging texts with him, showing him some love.
Actually, I'm glad that because I met him through you on the show, I'm glad he'll get an opportunity now.
He will.
Which is great. That's great for him. Yeah.
Exactly, because at some point you want to just start getting that service time, right? He's got 6 years of team control. If he's going to get paid, think about this. If his career works out, he probably won't hit free agency until 34 or 35. So he wants to get on it. He wants to get an opportunity. And you're right. With the Tigers, he's going to get that opportunity. For the Dodgers, they were saying that he might even be a bullpen piece. So, yeah, it's a great opportunity for him.
And you know what? I'm going to nominate River Ryan.
You can do River Ryan?
DMAC and Reiter. Just being good enough that some people, including clearly Detroit and as Keith Law, see him as a top pitching prospect in baseball. We do these rankings, we do these evaluations. It all comes down to what the buying team, right? One of the two trading teams want. And the fact that River Ryan was valuable in the eyes of the team that actually had control of Tarik Skubal is a part of the reason Skubal's coming.
I love it. I'll go Zaire Hope, the other guy included in the deal.
Okay.
Someone that he made his way in this organization after being an 11th round pick. So give me some Zaire Hope. I think that this Dodgers team, they had to give something to get something. They like those prospects, but they like who they got better in return.
This is your home for sports talk in Southern California. We're the only sports talk radio station on the FM. Call us. We want your perspective. What do you make of the MLB trade deadline as it comes to a close in 1 minute, 855-97? LA Fan, 855-97 LA Fan. We want your voice to be part of the program. You can also hit us up in the comments on the stream at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. We are your home for everything local sports. The trade deadline is coming to a close, and we will analyze all of it next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. We got some breaking news. We're going to give it to you right now here on DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. Do you want to break the news, my friend?
So Hunter Fiducia is back with the Dodgers. They traded him at the deadline last year, and now you have Ben Rortvedt and Hunter Fiducia. So the Dodgers clearly are trying to protect their downside when it comes to catcher depth. This one comes as a surprise to me, though, especially after they made the deal for Ben Rortvedt. Ben Rortvedt was included in the original deal when the Dodgers sent Hunter Fiducia to the Rays last year.
It's a little perplexing.
It is.
Yeah.
And a couple of things here are, one, how confident are they in Will Smith? Is Will Smith going to be back at 100%? Two, do they feel like maybe Dalton Rushing has hit a wall as a catcher? Because defensively, he's been up and down this season. You see a lot of balls pop out of his glove at times, some of the game calling at times, and it just takes a while.
Maybe the Shohei Ohtani conundrum did have some lasting implications.
Who knows?
Do I get a victory lap on that one?
Take your victory lap if you want, but
I'm asking you.
It's interesting. I mean,
it is.
I do think it's a combination of things. I mean, when Will Smith was in his first couple of years as a Dodger, a lot of his advanced metrics when it came to game calling and catching and framing and blocking, they weren't great, and he's improved a lot. You need a lot of reps at the big league level to improve as a catcher. So this one is interesting, especially at the buzzer. And
let me just start to interrupt you here. We're getting, as we get breaking news with the MLB trade deadline having closed 5 minutes ago, but obviously information coming in, we're going to give it to you, and DMAC and I are going to analyze it for you here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, your source and home for local sports talk all the time. Dalton Rushing is reportedly not in Chicago.
Not in Chicago.
Not in Chicago. Whatever that means, we'll have to suss that out. We're obviously not telling you that we have any information because we don't about what is the deal with Dalton Rushing. But to your point, it doesn't make sense. It is perplexing that the Dodgers would go get not one but two catchers at today's deadline. And now Dalton Rushing reportedly not in Chicago. Maybe coincidental?
Hold on to your butts. I mean, this is a pretty big development because Rushing is someone that they want to give extended playing time to allow him to develop. And also, offensively, he's been the sixth best offensive catcher in all of Major League Baseball. So I'm going to try to work to find out what exactly is going on.
David Vassay is the one who's reported that. Dodgers embedded reporter, right, for their radio network. Very, very okay. So we're obviously I love breaking news. I love the uncertainty. I love the energy. It could be something unrelated. I'm sure David Vassay is correct. So we'll let you know as we get more information on that. Do you want to go through some of these other trades?
Let's hit it.
So obviously Skubal A+, million pluses all the way across the board for you, DMAC.
A+++.
Chris Bubich, the starting pitcher that the Dodgers acquired from Kansas City, all-star last year, on the 60-day IL. Man, this guy is all ups. This is a classic Friedman move.
It is because you didn't have to give up a lot to get him. It's a true upside play. It doesn't hurt you if it doesn't work out. He's done this in the past. The Danny Duffy a couple years back, he didn't ever throw him one pitch. Danny Duffy, after they traded for him, he didn't even pitch for the Dodgers. Chris Bubich, he might pitch, he might not, but this is a great opportunity to get someone that you can be patient with. And for Bubich, when he's been on the mound, he's been really good. So this is a classic move. He's on the 60-day injured list. He's got shoulder soreness. He has dealt with a left elbow injury. But this is a move where the Dodgers protect the depth of their bullpen. Will Klein's gone down with an injury. Maybe he's done. Who knows? His velocity has gone down significantly. They do have a lot of lefties now, though, with Tanner Scott, Alex Vesia, Jack Dreyer. You got Bubich. So, hey, this is a really great move for a team that proves that, hey, we can go out there and get TARIK Skubal, the top dog, the biggest target, but we can also focus on improving the roster and getting some depth, and that's what he gets. So I give it a solid B.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Part of the fun, part of the joy of getting to do something like live radio in Los Angeles with the trade deadline is the uncertainty. And so there are two catchers that have come in, as we've talked about, for the Dodgers, Fiducia and Rorvet. And we don't know what's going on with Dalton Rushing. We just know, according to an embedded reporter there, David Vassay, he is not in Chicago with the Dodgers, who open that series against the Cubs in a couple hours. As we get that information, when Dave Roberts talks, when we get it, we'll 100% let you know. You had talked about, I think you had been asked about DMAC here on DMAC and Reiter, about Adley Rutschman and whether or not that was someone the Dodgers could target. He was obviously available from the Orioles. Their sort of young core hasn't worked out for them over the last few years. He's now a Boston Red Sox.
And this is a really good opportunity for the Red Sox to get a guy that it looked like he was going to be the best catcher in baseball for a decade plus, and the Red Sox are the hottest team in baseball. So to get Adley, someone whose offense has been down significantly, I give the Red Sox a solid B- on this one. I mean, after his first 2 years in the show, it really looked like this guy was a potential Hall of Fame level catcher. You had some big-time major seasons, the numbers have gone down, though. But the Red Sox are a team, they're 25th in OPS in its catcher spot, so any offense is going to be an improvement. In Rutschman, he's having his best season since 2023, even though they're not great numbers, hitting 251, 8 home runs, 19 doubles in 67 games, but he's under team control for another season. So the Red Sox get him for the remainder of this season, also all of next year. And hey, how about that? It's a major market team that is making a move to try to compete. Anytime teams are trying to compete and they're trying to go all in, it's not an all-in move, but this could be the sleeper move of the deadline, where if he turns out to be the player that he once was supposed to be, he could sign an extension with the Red Sox and be there for a long time.
The Giants, for obvious reasons, are sellers. They've also sold within the division to the Padres, who acquire Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray's interesting. I give this a A- though, because they needed starting pitching
for San Diego.
For San Diego, yeah. The Padres needed pitching. You had Michael King, Walker Buehler. They're going to lose Michael King most likely after this season. And there was some talk, too, that they were going to possibly trade their super closer, Mason Miller. Instead, of course, it's A.J. Preller. This guy would trade his own family if it meant an upgrade to this Padres roster. And Ray's been good. I mean, 10-6 with a 3.08 ERA. He's had a 1.09 ERA in his last 8 starts. And he's got crazy upside, too. So Ray is also, one thing I'll point out, too, he's a massive fly ball pitcher. And down at Petco Park, that cavernous outfield, if you're a fly ball pitcher down there, a lot of pitchers have talked about wanting to pitch there because your ERA kind of goes up because balls get kept in the yard. So I like that pickup for the Padres. I hate to admit it because I don't like the Padres.
You think it's a good bit of business, though?
But that's a good move for them, for sure.
DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Phone number, if you want to give us a call, you want to give us your assessment on what the Dodgers have done, on the TARIK SKUBAL edition, on any of the moves we're talking about, we want to hear from you. 855-97-LA Fan. 855-97-LA Fan. Another name that was sort of on, people were monitoring. I know that that Cody Decker really liked this name for the Dodgers, and if things have gone a different direction on D-Fish and Decker on the morning show here, was Clay Holmes. The Mets obviously have been a high-priced and utter disaster. Holmes moves. He moves to the team the Dodgers play today and over the next few days, the Cubs.
Holmes is quality. He has experience. He can be used as a starting pitcher, can be used as a reliever. The Cubs are another team that has an opportunity to win this season, so they're a team that was adding. You like to see that. As far as how good of a pitcher he is, a 2.45 ERA in the 9 starts this year that he had before he took a line drive off his leg. He fractured his fibula. He's got big stuff. He's got really nice stuff. I never thought he was going to be a Dodger just because I felt like if you bring in someone like Clay Holmes, he better be significantly better than anything you have in-house. And I think the Dodgers feel really good about their bullpen, the big arms, and the return of Edwin Diaz. You got Halverson, the guy they got from the Rockies, who's already thrown 102. So I didn't feel like they were going to get Clay Holmes just because I didn't think that the Dodgers viewed him as a big upgrade. But for a team like the Cubs, you got Matthew Boyd, you got Shota Imanaga, you got Kevin Gausman. All of a sudden, they've got some arms. The Cubs are interesting. Pico Armstrong.
Saturday, over the weekend.
Yes.
That trade went down for Chicago. Maybe something we'll do later in the show and or tomorrow is we'll get your power ranking sort of readjusted of threats to the Dodgers in the National League, if you're down for that.
Absolutely.
After we sort of process all these trades here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. There's a report that Dalton Rushing is not in Chicago. Jack Harris has speculative reporting on that. I'm just going to read you his tweet. Harris writes that Rushing's not in Chicago, does not have a locker in the Dodgers visiting clubhouse, and so Harris speculates, obviously the beat writer that covers the Dodgers for the California Post. Harris's speculation is that Dalton Rushing might not have made the trip as he deals with his arm injury. So again, we're doing here as it relates to Dalton Rushing is speculating, but it would make a lot more sense if the Dodgers went out and got these 2 catchers at the deadline because they're worried about Dalton Rushing's health in sort of a medium term rather than, the idea, obviously you would imagine it'd be almost impossible to imagine they would move on from Dalton Rushing. So maybe there's just, like Will Smith, just some worries about his durability right now in the sort of near term. Yeah,
he was scratched from the lineup in the Red Sox series, and that was due to some elbow, some arm discomfort. They had x-rays. They were clean, but they did list him as day-to-day. He dealt with a concussion in June. He has been durable for the most part, but even last year when he suffered an injury and Will Smith suffered an injury, that opened the door for Will Smith to really put together a nice allow him to rest and allow Ben Rortvedt to put together a nice run as the Dodgers catcher. I mean, Ben Rortvedt, a lot of people forget this, he started the Dodgers' first 4 games of the postseason last year, 2 against the Reds and 2 against the Phillies. So hopefully this is nothing serious for Dalton Rushing, but I think that this is the Dodgers being extremely proactive. This is the Dodgers doing every single thing in their power to make sure that their roster is foolproof and that there's not going to be an area where one guy gets injured and the guy behind him is injured and then they're screwed. I mean, you've got multiple layers of depth now, and all signs are pointing in the right direction for Will Smith. We'll see what happens with Dalton Rushing, though. No locker, that's something. Didn't travel, that's something.
I'm Bill Reiter. He's Doug McCain. He is the #1 Dodgers expert literally on the face of the earth, and we have you covered the entirety of the rest of this day until 6 o'clock, and James Coe is coming on 6 to 10 as we make sense of the MLB trade deadline, which locked exactly 15 minutes ago. We're talking about the entire time here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. And if you want to call in, chop it up with us, we would love to hear from you. Phone number 855-97 LA Fan, 855-97 LA Fan, which is what Tommy in LA has done. Tommy, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Happy trade deadline day. You're on DMAC and Reiter.
25, okay. Anybody else? 350.
What up, Tommy?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
Hey, sorry, my man. I was practicing before I got with you guys. Hey, DMAC Reiter, I just want to say, man, I love you guys. DMAC, you my main man from Dugout, Dodger Dugout, man. I just want to say, Andrew Freeman, man, for those of you guys hating on the Dodgers, man, Andrew Freeman has become the game monopoly, guys, okay? He has been so good at baseball. He has become Major League Baseball. He has become the MLB. They have to adapt to Andrew Freeman. I love it because, like you said, DMAC, there are a lot of guys that were happy when we were winning 100 games and losing in the first round. Well, where are you guys at now? Huh? It's quiet, isn't it, DMAC? So listen, man, guys, I love you guys, what you guys are doing, man. I think the Dodgers, man, as a Dodger fan, I never thought I would see this day. Man, I love our team. I love Andrew Freeman, what he's doing, man. And it's only a matter of time before Major League Baseball, before he adapts to the new rules that they're going to implement. And this is the way it's going to go for everybody thinking that this is just a rental. This is how it's going to go in the offseason, okay? If the bid is going to be open at $325 for TARIK SKUBAL, Dodgers are going to yawn at that. $350, okay. $375, okay. $385, okay. Are you guys done? Are you got $400? $400, okay. $425. Who's going to safety? And TARIK SKUBAL will be a Dodger, guys. So don't worry about it. Let's get this 3P, guys. I'm out.
Tommy, we love you too, dude. That's a great phone call. Thank you, brother, for hanging and listening and calling in.
That's what I'm talking about. Bringing it.
Fan.
Yeah, look,
passion, dude.
Hey, he brought up what you were talking about, Andrew Friedman. Yeah, he's certainly done everything to master the resources that he has. So he's operating at a master class of a level. He's taking advantage of every single resource he has financially, developing scouts and developing analytics departments. I mean, just the Dodgers are a monster. They're a machine, and they're operating at the highest level. And I think that he mentions the 100-win thing. Yeah, look, I mean, for so many years, it was the Dodgers are spending all of this money just to choke in the postseason. Now people are saying the game's broken. They want to flip over the board and say we need new rules.
We don't do a great job, not you and I, but just sort of sports media and conversations at remembering the history of things and how we got here. We're also in the moment. That's sort of the way that the world is in 2026 and technology and everything. But the McCourt era is not that long ago. And the brutality of having that ownership group is not that long ago. And the dire straits the Dodgers were in as it relates to their culture and spending money, but not quite being enough, and having success, but not World Series success. And so for all the haters out there and for the rest of the country and the people that are frustrated, and we've already had this talk, but Tommy reminded me of it with Andrew Friedman, this is what it looks like when you run an organization, when you run a company, when you run a baseball team better than anybody else.
Exactly. I mean, I think people need to be reminded of that again. I mean, the Dodgers, it's not about, they have a monopoly. It's that they have urgency. It's that
I love that
they are trying to win every single year. The Dodgers are trying to win championships more aggressively than any team in all of professional sports. I think that's absolutely clear. And the big question shouldn't be, why are the Dodgers spending so much? The question should be, why are some teams making hundreds of millions of dollars and still acting like they're trying to be a small business trying to survive? I think that what people forget when it comes to the Dodgers is just the fact that They have figured out this system and how to win in this system better than everyone else. Do I think they benefit from money? I absolutely do. Do they think that their financial resources are a reason why they have the level of success they have? I absolutely do. But here's the thing, though. What stopped the Red Sox from signing Mookie Betts? What stopped the Braves from getting Freddie Freeman the contract that he deserved? What stopped the Angels from building a contender around Shohei Ohtani? What stopped the Yankees from paying Yamamoto what he wanted to? What stopped the Oakland A's from recognizing Max Muncy as a future All-Star? There's just so many examples where the Dodgers have taken players that either were undervalued or did not get the money they deserve for their franchise, and they turned them into superstars beyond belief. They took it full advantage of that. So I have zero sympathy for all these teams out there that are trying to say the Dodgers are having an unfair advantage or they're ruining baseball. No, they've mastered baseball, and they're winning. And I think it's great for the sport. I really do.
Happy MLB trade deadline / TARIK SKUBAL is a Dodger day. He is Doug McCain. I am Bill Reiter. This is DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Everything you said, chef's kiss. How do you do it? Is it supposed to kiss? Is it a chef's kiss? Let me just add this on top of that, the exclamation point, or maybe one little point on top of it, behind it, with it, in support of it. In anything that you do, in any endeavor or business where there are driven people, ambitious, talented people who think they work harder than everybody else or think that they're better than everyone else, want to go to a place surrounded by similar people. You can be in radio, you can be in politics, you can be in Hollywood, you can be in the business of making music, you can be an entrepreneur. The other thing about the Dodgers and everything you walked us through is that it creates a situation where if you're Freddie Freeman or you're TARIK SKUBAL or you're any of these guys, of course you want to be a Dodger. Not because it's unfair, but because you feel like they match your ambition. They match your drive. They match your passion. Winners want to go work for, play with, play along, work alongside winners, not losers. And so part of the reason the Dodgers are winning more and not less is not because they spend more money. It's because, to your point, they built this machine. They created this thing. They pulled themselves from the ashes of awfulness that was the McCourt era, and it began when they brought in Friedman. And now if you are a real-time, big-time, driven, ambitious Major League Baseball player and you want to do what everyone wants to do, you want to win, you want to compete, you want to be the best, the Dodgers are one of your few options that maybe match you like a TARIK SKUBAL in terms of they reflect what you want to be about as a baseball player. I think that matters too.
It does, because they've created an environment. We got another call?
We got two calls.
Let's go, baby.
855-97
Fire
LA
up.
fan. Whoa.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, don't be sorry. I love your passion. Let's go to Raymond. What's up, dude? In Fontana, you are on DMAC and Reiter. Raymond, what's up,
how's
buddy?
it going?
Hey, brother. We're great.
Just wanted to say hi, first of all.
Hey, man.
And so, Doug, DMAC, just real quick. One time you laughed at a joke that my friend made on X about me stealing somebody's jacket. I thought it was funny. It's pretty messed up, but it was funny. It's all good. Anyways, the real reason I'm here, just wanted to say, all these guys went from comedians to crybabies. It was choke saw, Mickey Mouse, all that money just to get bounced in the first round. So, I mean, should we really care? Should we really be feeling bad for anybody? Should we really be, apologizing for anything? I don't think we should, personally. Everybody wants to get mad about it, but let's be real. If it was their team, they'd be loving it. So it's always funny to see Yankee fans talking about it and how they did it different. Look, we've seen many teams spend year after year after year. It doesn't equate to anything. It happened with us. It happens still to this day. We have a winning culture and people want to join. So to anybody that wants to say anything negative about us, they're just jealous. Jealousy is ugly. That's all.
Hell of a call, Raymond. Great call, dude. Thank you for calling at 855-97-LA fan. 855-97-LA fan. Join the conversation here on DMAC and Reiter. I do love the sort of bleep you mentality of Dodgers fans looking at a bunch of people around the country trying to put this on the Dodgers. The rest of baseball doesn't operate the way they're supposed to.
Oh, yeah, because this is years and years of being the butt of the jokes, of being the team that got clowned, that got hated on. And you mentioned Frank McCourt in just those years. I remember being at Dodger Stadium and no one was there, and we were losing, and there was just no hope in sight. And now all of a sudden, you built this juggernaut, and people are saying the roles are different. The Dodgers, to me, they're not the villain in this story. I think the Dodgers, what they are is the team that really has shown everyone what a baseball team should look like in 2026 when you have all the resources, but you're also making the right decisions across the way.
DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We got more calls. This is your show. We want to hear from you. You want your voice to be part of the program. 855-97-LA Fan. Bruce all the way up in Portland, Oregon. What's up, buddy? Thanks for listening.
Bruce.
You're on DMAC and Reiter. What up, Bruce?
In your chat. What's going on, guys?
Hey,
DMAC, I'm the Bruce Davis that's always in your chat. You know, that gets pissed off, you know, when the Dodgers lose. But I just want to say that that our general manager Friedman, this guy's a genius. This guy has got players and turned these guys around that other teams don't want. And I just want to say that how much respect I have for the Dodger, the brass, but Friedman is the man. There ain't nobody better out there, and if anybody hates, which is fine, they can hate all they want. Get your general managers. Don't hate the Dodgers. Start hating your damn general managers and tell them to spend some money, because every one of them have money. It's their choice not to spend. But we in LA, they want to win championships, and I've heard Doug say this: championships and parades. Period. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you, DMAC. Appreciate you, Reiter. And go Dodgers.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Bruce. Thanks for hanging out in Portland.
My man, Bruce, appreciate you, my guy.
I love it, dude. All right, we want to hear from you. Get in line, join the conversation, be part of MLB trade deadline day magic as we make sense of every single trade and every move, especially for the Dodgers. 855-97-LA Fan. Give us a call. 855-975-2326. More of your calls and more Dodgers analysis as we make sense of this crazy trade deadline day next year on DMAC and Reiter. Welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. He's Doug McCain. I'm Bill Reiter. The trade deadline closed 29 minutes ago. Obviously, we know this was true on Saturday. TARIK SKUBAL is a Dodger. We don't have any other news about other Dodgers having been moved out. We do have the starting lineup. It's Ohtani, Pages, Edman, Freeman, Betts, Tucker, Teo, and Kike, and Alfonso is catching. And part of the reason Alfonso is catching, and this is also part of the injury report brought to you by Ozeron Law, the injured worker hotline, is because the reason the Dodgers have acquired 2 catchers, not 1, at the deadline, is because Dalton Rushing has an elbow strain, Dave Roberts tells the collected media in Chicago at Wrigley Field, and he is going on the IL, so we will hit that in just a moment. Do want to, though, go back to the phone lines. We want to talk to you on this crazy, fun, exciting deadline day, a couple days for the Dodgers. Phone number is 855-97-LA Fan. Eric in the 213, appreciate you hanging there with us, pal. You're on DMAC and Reiter.
Appreciate you guys for taking my call.
What's up, man?
You know, for the Dodgers to pick up possibly 2 more catchers, first of all, it makes me think that Will Smith has been very important to this team. You know, to be calling games, framing pitches, you know, one of the great defensive catchers. To go along with the offensive production and the clutch hitting that he's been providing for the Dodgers, what an unsung hero, right?
Dude, 100%, bro.
Yeah. You know, Andrew Friedman, is it any coincidence that Tampa Bay is still a good team? His fingerprints has been all over that organization. What Andrew Friedman has done ever since he's taken over this Dodgers organization is basically Sam Presti on steroids, you know? And it's almost laughable to me because let's think about this. Is it going to be gratifying that we win the World Series right now with Skubal? Because, you know, we have to win the World Series now, right? You know?
No, dude, it's 100% right. It's like it's almost like the Rams. I got to ask that on my buddy Nick Costo's show. What is more required? The Dodgers winning the World Series or the Rams winning the Super Bowl? And it took me a hot minute. I think Dodgers, man.
It has to be the Dodgers.
Yeah.
It has to be. This is the ultimate, hey, we are going to break baseball year. And how much of a compliment would that be to the Dodgers? That we were so good at our game. We were so good at what we did. We literally sent the sport into a longer lockout because we were so elite at what we did that we forced the game to change. That, I think, is going to be part of the legacy of this Dodgers team. That they were so good at what they did as far as developing the best organization that it could lead to massive overhauls and changes for the game itself.
Eric in the 213, thank you for calling in. Join the conversation, 855-97-LA Fan. It is Bursch who is screening those calls, so who's taking your phone calls. So just if it keeps ringing, keep calling. We will get to your phone call at 855-97-LA Fan. All right, Rortvedt is going to be activated tomorrow. Emmett Sheehan is being optioned, Dave Roberts has told the media, DMAC. And Roberts said it's his understanding that neither Eric Lauer nor Alex Call were traded. Also, Justin Robleski, there was some confusion because he was listed as a starting pitcher, then he wasn't. He is pitching tonight.
I love all that. I really do. I was pushing for the Dodgers to keep Eric Lauer because you can never have enough starting pitching, and he's pitched very well for this team. There's no guarantees that Glassdown, Blake Snell are going to come back and stay healthy. Yes, you've added TARIK SKUBAL, and Shohei Ohtani should be back on the mound at some point. You still have Yamamoto, but I'm of the mind that whoever you could have got in return for Eric Lauer, be it a lottery ticket level prospect, did not provide the same value as having an Eric Lauer that can pitch for you now. Alex Call's another guy that provides you some good outfield depth as well. So I like the fact they didn't move those guys.
Listen to this dedication, by the way. And any of you that call in at 855-97-LA Fan, we celebrate you. But maybe we celebrate Steve a little bit extra because he's from L.A., he went to Chicago for the series.
Reppin'.
But he's listening to DMAC and Reiter from Chi-Town. Steve, what up? You're on DMAC and Reiter.
Hey, man. Yeah, this is Steve. I'm over here in Chicago. I'm about to go downtown, and I'm going to watch the game tomorrow. Watch Skubal pitch his first game for the Dodgers.
Dude, that's a how's the
Let's go.
how's the vibe?
Some deep dish.
Do you have Dodger stuff on? People yelling at you?
Oh no, yeah, we just got in from LAX today, and people are my pops is wearing all Dodger blue. You know, we're taking the subway right now, and I see some Cub fans. I think they're on the way to the game, and I'm about to talk some smack to them.
Let them know.
Let them know, dude.
Yeah.
Have a great. How you feel about the Skubal trade?
Oh man, it's amazing, man. I know most of MLB doesn't like it, you know, but it's not our fault, you know. We want to win, you know. We have the best owners in the world. We have the best president of operations in Friedman. You know, I've been watching the Boys in Blue since about 2013. So, I mean, he's done everything that he's promised us. He wants us to win every year and be competitive, and I'm so happy for us to have him.
All right, brother, if you're looking for a place to eat, the Purple Pig right across from the old Chicago Tribune building on Michigan Avenue is amazing. It's open late, and they make the drinks very, very strong. Thank you so much for calling in, dude. And, Steve, enjoy Chicago and hit us back. Hit us back in a couple days. Let us know what that game was like.
Awesome, man. Thank you for having me on today.
Thank you, brother. Enjoy Chicago. It's a fun... But that is a dedicated fan. Chicago's will be a fun town to go catch a Dodgers game in.
That's the spot. There's always a lot of Dodgers fans that show up and show out. I love Wrigley Field. To me, it's right behind Dodger Stadium. The nostalgia, the IV, especially this time of year. Dodgers fans rep, though. And this is a good Cubs team. This will be a really good series. And guess what? He's going to hopefully be able to see the first start for TARIK Skubal. So that's going to be legendary.
Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
That I had missed that. That's the.
Yeah, that's going to be electric.
5 o'clock first pitch like today?
I believe so. I'll have to double check
air.
that, but I believe it is.
That will be badass, dude, to be on the air.
During the breaks.
When Skubal gets out there. All right, phone number 855-97-LA fan. We're sort of processing everything as it sort of comes down. What's your biggest Dodger takeaway? Guy came in, guy went out, other than Skubal. Guy didn't go out, excuse me.
I would say the fact that they kept Alex Call and the fact that they kept Eric Lauer. I just thought that since they trade away River Ryan and Zaire Hope, two guys that they were able to acquire through trades, but were late-round picks. So the Dodgers know how to make an 11th round pick a top trade chip for a TARIK Skubal. So I thought that maybe they would try to replenish, get some lottery ticket prospects that they know how to develop. I was talking to a scout yesterday for almost an hour, a scout with the Dodgers, and he told me that he felt that was going to be their plan, was to try to flip those guys, to try to see if they could get some more prospects to be able to get that pipeline going, to use that Dodgers farm system as a elite player ATM currency like they've been doing. So I would say to keep those guys, but also, too, it's kind of hilarious to me that they did end up getting not just one, but two catchers. We talked about on this show for so many weeks now, just the fact that the Dodgers really need to go out there and get some depth to protect themselves if Will Smith or Dalton Rushing go down. And they go out there and they get two catchers that had formerly caught in this organization in Ben Rortvedt and Hunter Fiducia, two guys that were involved in the same trade for each other. So I was surprised on that end. I think outside of that, though, I wasn't really surprised. I mean, I felt like the Dodgers would be TARIK Skubal or bust. And essentially, you were able to out there and get another reliever. But as far as guys that they brought in to have an impact for the home stretch, if it wasn't TARIK Skubal, this would have been a dud of a deadline for them that wouldn't have had very many big-time names. I don't think there was a world where if they didn't get Skubal, they would have pivoted to a Kevin Gausman type or a Freddie Peralta type, one of those starters in the second tier. So for the most part, I'm not too shocked to see what they did the deadline.
Another bit of news that Birch gave me that I missed, my bad. Casey Mize is now a Padre.
Yeah, so that's another move, and that's another reason really why they ended up probably trading TARIK Skubal when they did, right? I mean, when you look at where their market was and trying to focus on different trades, Casey Mize, the Detroit Tigers. So they probably say, okay, we got to move TARIK Skubal, and then we can move Casey Mize. We probably felt like we weren't going to get better prospects than what the Dodgers were going to offer them. So Mize, he's on the move. The Padres, give them credit. Trust me, the Padres have the loneliest trophy case in all of baseball.
I respect their ambition, though, man.
But I respect their ambition, too.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's going to fail. It's like a little brother that wants to fight you, and you know that when you try, you're going to beat the living crap out of him. But you also kind of respect that they tried.
Exactly. It's like, hey, and every year, too, when they come back.
Is that condescending?
A little bit, but it's the truth. So there's that. If A.J. Preller was running the Brewers, they probably would have TARIK SKUBAL today, right? They probably would have a better roster that was put together to be a little more desperate. So I do respect what the Padres did. I still think that they're not going to compete with the Dodgers in the division, but if they do make the wild card, the Padres are one of the scariest hot teams in baseball. When they get hot, they can go on a run, and you've got Mason Miller, you've got Fernando Tatis Jr., you still have Manny Machado, you still have that core in place, and they've made it very clear that they're not ready to punt to the next generation. They're still trying to win.
We have some great calls that are coming in at 855-97-LA-FAN, including more that are on the line. We're going to get to them right now, 855-97-LA-FAN. We also have amazing comments, some directed at me, some directed at Doug, that we'll get to in the mailbag. So keep dropping those. If the way you're sort of taken in the show is on YouTube at the Fan LA, keep dropping those in the comments section. Donnie Boy just had one about you that I'm just going to write it down. But before that, phone call, 855-97-LA-FAN. Martin's hanging out in Albuquerque. Martin, we appreciate you listening to Albuquerque. We appreciate you spending time with us. My friend, you are on DMAC and Reiter.
What's up, boys? How you doing?
Good, brother.
What up?
Hey, man. So I'm old school Dodger fan. I'm like old. Anyhow, in the trade they made with the Rays at the end, the Fiducia trade, I noticed we got pitcher Jacob Kamatz put in there. That kid pitched here in New Mexico. My son played with him in high school, and don't sleep on this kid. He's going to be something for the Dodgers if he ends up sticking with the organization.
Dude, thanks for the call. And you make a point that I think is worth noting. It feels like every year when the trade deadline happens, we obviously focus on the major leaguers and the names that we know. And then you fast forward 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 years later, and Friedman has these players that are part of trades that are kind of add-ins or random names or just, okay, like there's a backlog, we'll bring in River Ryan. There's a backlog, we'll bring in Zaire Hope. And then fast forward a few years later, and some of these guys are either incredibly well-developed and now celebrated prospects on rankings lists and or important trade chips and trades that go down. So part of the magic of today's trade deadline might not just be what we're talking about, but where this leads Friedman and the Dodgers in ways that only Friedman can see 2, 3, 4 years from now.
Yeah, there's no one random on the Dodgers, right? Even players that feel like they're throw-ins or they're filler in a deal, they still feel like there's potential there to be maximized, whether it be for minor league depth, whether that be for an outside chance to climb up those prospect rankings list. I think that a lot of people this weekend, they kind of got caught up with, the Dodgers are giving up their number 7 and their number 5 prospect. Guess what? If River Ryan or Zaire Hope are in most organizations around Major League Baseball, they're not their number 5, they're not their number 7 prospects, they're probably their 1, 2, or 3 prospects, right? So I think things are different in the Dodgers organization. Hey, I like that. I'm gonna when he balls out, when he pitches well for this team, I'm gonna remember that caller years down the line.
I love it, dude. It's such a great shout. So many great phone calls. We got you covered. We want to hear from you. Don't be shy. We like long time first times. We like short times first times. We want you to be a first time or anytime caller. Hell yeah. Drive 855-97-LA-FAN. 855-97-LA-FAN. We're going to keep taking your phone calls. We'll keep talking Dodgers on this trade deadline day. We'll keep making sense of Skubal and the jealous, frustrated, I think in some cases phony reactions of other Major League Baseball folks around the country next here on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That is injury help to 40222. A little more news here on trade deadline day. Not only is Eric Lauer not being traded, he is starting on Wednesday. I don't even know what day. Oh, it's Monday? Today's Monday?
Monday, baby.
All right. Days of the week. They're hard for half of the team here on DMAC and Reiter. It's the second half who apparently struggles.
Trade deadline Monday is like a Christmas day for me, man. And a lot of you Dodgers fans, a lot of fans out there. So you get the moves that were made. And then I think now, towards the end, of course, the Skubal is the big storyline. But I think towards the end, the moves that they didn't make are interesting down the stretch with Eric Lauer staying on the team. And it shows that the Dodgers feel like, hey, there's a chance that he could have some role for this team, maybe in the bullpen, because Bill, he doesn't have any minor league options, right? He has to stay in the show for him to be able to play for this team.
It's really, it is amazing the degree. And Eric, look, across the country, as people wring their hands and shout to the sky, why, and criticize the Dodgers and say the Dodgers are ruining baseball and all the fallacies that we've knocked down and will continue to do so right here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. I bet you a lot of those folks aren't talking about Eric Lauer. And he is a proof positive this season, absolute reminder of what the Dodgers can do. And one of the two of us, I won't say who, it was me, thought he was going to suck the moment he came in. And one of the two of us, I won't say who, were called it 100%, said, no, don't look at what he was, look at where he's going. Nobody out there who's pissed off about Skubal is pointing to Eric Lauer as a reminder that no. The Dodgers win at every single. Eric Lauer was attainable, recognizable, and fixable by every team in baseball if, and they don't do this, if they could do what the Dodgers do from a baseball. That wasn't a money move. That was just a baseball excellence move.
No doubt about it. And the Dodgers had the foresight to know that, hey, he could help this team and what they could do to improve him. And that's the difference. That's the separator between the Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Cubs. It's, we know we have 1, 2, and 3. We know we've got Shohei, Mookie, and Freddie. We know how this rotation looks like, but it's that number 26 man on the roster. It's the guy on the margins. And just look at last year in the World Series. Miguel Rojas, Kike Hernandez, and you look at someone like Eric Lauer, he's a veteran. He wanted to stay on this team. So I think that it's a great sign that they're rewarding him by keeping him on this roster because, look, there is still some uncertainty. Even with the addition of TARIK Skubal, there is always going to be uncertainty. We are in early August. You still have 2 months to play before the postseason begins. In a perfect world, everyone's healthy, everyone's ready to go. But in the event that they are in a position where they need another starter or two, they have that option. Eric Lauer is someone that has been great for this team. Here's the thing. If Eric Lauer, the Dodgers have never lost with Eric Lauer on the mound. So
9-0.
If he's the good luck charm that sparks another World Series, then, hey, give me some Eric Lauer.
855-97 LA fan. All right, so Skubal is a Dodger. He starts tomorrow in Chicago. If Ohtani, I know no one's at 100%, but if every one of the Dodgers starting pitchers they have are available and they are, as healthy as one can be in October, what is the postseason rotation order?
Dodgers fans are going to hate me for saying this.
1.
I'm going to go TARIK Skubal 1. And I'll tell you why. Why. Because you know what? TARIK Skubal is just a rental. The Dodgers have TARIK Skubal for August, September, and the postseason. The Dodgers probably want to sign him to a long-term extension. I don't think that it was a coincidence that it surfaced that he might want to sign with the Dodgers long-term before he was traded to maybe scare off some teams.
So Skubal 1.
So I think Skubal 1. So I got Skubal 1.
This is in a postseason series.
In the postseason series.
Man,
he was electric last year in the postseason, but also, too, it's the recruiting tactic, too. It's I want to show you that, hey, you can be number 1 for us.
I love you, baby.
We got Yamamoto. Exactly.
Those are basically the equivalent of giving somebody flowers.
It's giving him that responsibility, too.
Okay.
And the thing about Skubal.
Yamamoto 2?
I got Skubal 1.
Okay.
Yamamoto 2.
Yeah.
Shohei 3.
Okay. Over Snow.
Well, we'll see how Snell looks when he comes back.
I'm asking you, everyone's good. Everyone's exactly where they're supposed to be.
Okay, I'll reorganize for 1 second here.
Okay.
Skubal 1, and then I think Shohei 2. And the reason why I'm saying Shohei too is if you could have that piggyback start potentially with Shohei and Glasnow in Game 2, that's your home game.
So you're going Ohtani, Glasnow, Game 2.
Yeah, because I think for
Combo.
And as a combo, and then you got Blake Snell
3
and Yamamoto on your road starts. So those are your road warriors. Look at the NLCS last year with the Brewers when the.
So you're assuming that the Brewers don't have a better record.
Or no, I'm saying just look at last year how they performed. I think they won't face the Brewers until the NLCS, but I do think there could be some mixing and matching.
This could be the NLCS. Yeah.
This could be the NLCS, could be the DS, but I do think that they could have some mixing and matching just because they have that luxury. But look, Skubal's as good as it gets. Skubal is the multi-time Cy Young Award winner. You could make the case. Look, I'll even say it right now. TARIK Skubal is now the very best pitcher on the Los Angeles Dodgers. He is. As great as Yamamoto, as great as Ohtani and Snell and Glasnow are, TARIK Skubal has a 2.79 ERA. He's actually putting up better numbers this year, his under-the-hood numbers, than he ever has. So, look, it's his time to shine. Let's give Skubal his opportunity, man. Let's show him what it's like to be a Dodger.
Percentage odds, I know you're just guessing here. I'll give you mine too, and I'm going to write mine down first. Percentage odds that Skubal is a Dodger after this season.
I'm going to go 68%.
That's crazy. I went 79.
79, a little higher than me.
Very similar. I'm an optimist by nature, Doug.
Yeah, I know you are.
I'm an optimistic guy, you know what I'm saying?
I know you are. And this is a perfect spot for him. And I think that part of the reason why the Dodgers want to make moves for a guy like TARIK Skubal is they want to show that, hey, we are the team that should be the destination for A's starting pitchers. He's originally from here. I think he grew up an Oakland A's fan from what I heard, but he lives in Arizona, so geographically it makes sense. And here's, too, like, where is his market if he's looking for $400 million? So the Dodgers, if they really want to go big, and we'll see what the future looks like for Shohei Ohtani, how Glasnow and Blake Snell will fare. Yes, you've already have $1 billion committed to starting pitching, but you wouldn't just trade for TARIK Skubal if you didn't have designs of wanting to lock him up long term.
It'll also be interesting just to see what Scott Boras' sort of behind the scenes temperature is, his prognostication on what's going to happen with the CBA, because if they are convinced that there's zero chance of a cap, then there's not a lot of pressure. If they're worried that things could get weird, they might want to get a deal on the Dodgers sooner rather than later, as it relates to that CBA deadline.
That's a really good point, Bill, and I think that if you're Scott Boras, he's always been willing to push that thing as far as it can up until spring training, up until opening day, because he doesn't want to be backed into a corner. He doesn't want to be rushed. He just wants to get the biggest dollar amount. But I think Skubal is a guy that, is he truly going to go for that Scott Boras model where it's give me the biggest payday? Or is he someone that wants to combine winning with happiness, with geographical?
I think the answer is yes. I think the first part, yes.
It's always about the money?
I think he's going to. The thing is, and this is fine, it's part of the reality of the Dodgers. They know the Dodgers can and will pay. So it's not as if you're going to be able to ask for a hometown discount as the Dodgers.
Yeah, look, he will be. You're right in that he's going to get a massive contract. He's going to sign the largest contract that any starting pitcher has ever signed. It's going to surpass Yamamoto's $325 million. The question is there going to be a 4 at the beginning of his contract? And if that is the case, I think outside of the Mets, I think the Mets could be a major player. But if he wants the West Coast, there's not too many options. Maybe the Giants go out there, make a big move. Maybe the Mariners, but probably less likely. So, I mean, we'll probably get in that conversation a lot as far as the options for him. But, hey, come and win a World Series with the Dodgers, and they'll talk about the contract in the offseason.
What's wild about this is, and your ranking is spot on. I'm not making any arguments here on DMAC and Reiter, but we didn't bring up Roki Sasaki. For all the right, I mean, that dude's stuff is not just potentially electric; it has been of late electric. The depth of this Dodgers team is it's hard to fathom, even though we talk about it every single day.
Hey, look, I always joke, right? They have more aces than a deck of cards. They really had the same amount of aces than a deck of cards.
There's only 4.
Now they have 5, right? Now they truly do have more aces than a deck of cards. And to not even bring up Roki when you got all that star power, it just shows you
in the deck of cards.
That's a great way to put it. He is the Joker. He could be the guy in a few years.
I thought Eric Lauer was a 2 of clubs, and I was wrong. He was more of a queen of hearts, and credit to you and the Dodgers for knowing that. It is the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. We've taken a bunch of phone calls. We're not done. If you want to weigh in on MLB trade deadline day, give us a call. 855-97 LA Fan, 855-975-2326. Your calls, your comments, more Skubal talk, more Dodgers talk next on DMAC and Reiter. All right, what up? Welcome back into the show. It's DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That is calldowntown.com. We're on the FM 97.1. We're also on YouTube at The Fan LA. At The Fan LA, if you're over there, slam that like button. Give us a call, 855-97 LA Fan. Over on the stream, where we have a cool, growing, awesome community, I Will Flip You the Bird, not his given name, Doug, has called in and is now on DMAC and Reiter. I Will Flip You the Bird. What up?
What's going on, guys? Listen, I just want to say that all four of you guys, if you're listening or watching on YouTube, all of you guys look great. But there is a haircut that needs to be celebrated. Producer Bursch, that haircut looks super clean. Congratulations, my brother.
Bursch.
Amazing. But, I just wanted to talk about the C word, and by the C word, I mean collusion, because, DMAC, Reiter, you guys talked about how every team had the opportunity, had the trade like the capital to go out and get TARIK, and they didn't. And it's super weird. It's super weird. And this kind of reminds me of, there was an old interview of Kike Hernandez who said that, yeah, you know what, I got like calls when I was fielding like 1 year like deals or whatever, and every single deal was like 1 year and cents on the dollar difference, but like very close to. So I guess my question is, like, these owners, they are talking. Are they really pushing for us to get, like, or were they pushing for us to get TARIK, like, laying down and just being like, you know what, we're gonna let the Dodgers have this so that we have more leverage? Because that's wild, man. I feel like if that's the case, it's kind of nasty, dude. Like, we need to have another entity to kind of be in between, like, Players Association and the owners. That's not the commissioner, that is the employee of the owners. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's weird, you know? So I wanted to get your take on it, because, like, you know, Reiter, like, you know how the inner workings and the insiderness of it, you know, like DMAC, like you're our spokesperson, dude. You're our bullhorn. You're our biggest fan. We're right behind you, you know? Like, what is going on, dude? This is super wild that those trade packages are not what the Dodgers could have offered. We weren't leveraged against to give them more, you know? It feels weird. It feels kind of anticlimactic is what I'm saying.
It's a great call. I will flip you the bird. And also, I know it's not why you called in, but Bullhorn's amazing. Bullhorn and Reiter. I'm just saying, if we're ever looking for like a secondary.
Hey, I like it. Bullhorn, you know? Reiter, baby.
So there is
Bullhorn right here.
I will flip you the bird's point. There is a conspiracy theory. There is a widely held view out there. I don't share it. I'll be curious if you do. And this wouldn't be a Dodgers thing per se, but that all the other owners, in effect, strategically and together decided not to offer enough for Skubal, so that Skubal would definitely be moved to the Dodgers, so that then the owners could cry foul and use it as a reason to shut the sport down and seek a salary cap. And while I wouldn't put it past billionaires to do what they got to do to put more money in their pocket, I find it very hard to believe you'd be able to get 29 other owners, or even 9, 10, 11 other owners of variously competitive baseball teams, because it's not the Royals who'd be trading for Skubal. It would be the Brewers or the Yankees or whoever it is. I just don't buy it, dude, is the long and short of it.
I will say, I will flip you the bird. I, too, own a tinfoil hat. I like to wear it at times. I love me a juicy... You've seen it?
You look good in it.
I love me a juicy conspiracy theory. I really do. I will say this, too, that there has been examples of collusion in Major League Baseball. You had the free agent collusion from 1985 to 1987. There was talks there where teams shared information and avoided bidding against each other for free agents. That was a horrific offense as far as the labor agreements and the disputes that transpired after the fact. But I think in this world, the collusion conspiracy theories, I think that one is false, just because we're talking about not getting Major League Baseball involved. We're talking about getting the FBI involved, right? We're talking about serious penalties, but has it happened before? Yes. Do I think it's happened in this particular situation? I don't think that answer is yes. I think that what that does is almost protect and give an excuse to the cheap owners and the owners that weren't aggressive, and the teams like the Brewers and the Rays. The Brewers are trying to protect those prospects. The Dodgers were trying to be aggressive. And I do think that, even though I just don't think there's a world where teams are out there, they're communicating with each other, saying, okay, don't offer your prospects to the Dodgers. Let Skubal go to the Dodgers, so that way when it comes to the lockout, we're going to have some more ammunition. While I don't think that was possible, I do think that the Brewers not giving up their prospects to keep them, knowing that there is a potential CBA looming, they want to have everything reset and the rules change before they do part ways with those prospects.
I will also just add to sort of double down on what DMAC just said here on the new 97.1, The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, and on DMAC and Reiter. We don't know what's going to be on the other side of this CBA situation. But if there is a cap and or a floor, if there do become restrictions that are basically aimed at reining in the Dodgers, and I think it's not reining in the Dodgers so much as making the owners more money, but those picks do become more valuable. I mean, there is a world where maybe if you're the Brewers or some other organizations, if your owners' play is to make themselves much richer by blaming the Dodgers by way of making a salary cap, it also creates a situation where you're going to want those prospects because it's going to be harder to go out and sort of flex financial muscle if you're the Mets or other folks. Here's Brian Cashman along those lines from just a little bit ago being asked on a conference call about the Yankees' pursuit of TARIK Skubal.
We talked to Detroit. They set a high price, and to be honest, that was not something we were unable to get them off of what they said might work, but at the same time, they were communicating that it also might not even win the day. And then they kind of went silent, I think after they got what they were looking for, and ultimately, I think was wrestling whether they're going to make the decision to move it or not, and then they made that decision. So I guess feel like we didn't really match up in the end. We weren't able to compete at that level, but they did have some asks our way that we were unwilling to do. But it was a very specific ask, and a certain player and players we weren't willing to play with in that arena.
So here's the other thing, Doug, and I'd love your perspective on that and just what we heard. The other thing about making these trades, right, is it's easy for you and for me and for fans and other people to go out there and just say, well, they didn't get enough. And I thought it was a light halt return. It's the actual person who's in charge of operations for a team's job to assess these players not as Keith Law sees it, not as Baseball America sees it, not as Doug McCain sees it, not as Bill Reiter sees it, but as they see it. And so there might just be a world where the Tigers looked at Zaire Hope and River Ryan and Brady Smith, and for them, that is a remarkable return because that's their internal assessment. Just like an NFL draft, not every team has their big board the same way.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that people don't talk about enough, is that each organization has their own way of evaluating players. Not even just players specifically, but even their statistics that they use to evaluate their own players. Because if it was that easy and everyone just relied on top 30 lists and Baseball America lists, then anyone could be a scout. Anyone could be a front office exec, right? But there's no world where they're sitting in the war room in Detroit and they're pulling up the lists of Baseball America and Baseball Prospectus and MLB Pipeline and are making the moves just on that. There are people in Major League Baseball that think that River Ryan could be the number 1 or 2 starter on a team. That means he's an ace. That means the potential to be an ace. He throws 100 miles per hour. He's a really, really good prospect. And same goes for Zaire Hope. There's a lot of people that are very high on him. So let's not act like the Dodgers just trade away a bucket of baseballs and a half-eaten sandwich for TARIK Skubal. No, they gave up something to get something. It's just the bigger question here that I don't think is talked about enough is how the Dodgers can afford to lose Zaire Hope and River Ryan because you already have a farm system. And most importantly, you have the ability to get your talent through free agency. You can sign Kyle Tucker. You can sign Yamamoto. You can sign TARIK Skubal. The Brewers just don't have that luxury.
That's exactly right.
They have to keep their prospects and make sure that if there was someone that they would trade for, they're going to be under team control. I think the fact that TARIK Skubal is a rental, and the fact that, too, let's be honest, the Brewers were just straight up soft in this situation.
Let's also just note, we've noted that Zaire Hope was the 4th ranked generally outfielder in the Dodgers farm system and the 3rd best, which is really highest ranked outfielder at AA. That doesn't mean that that's how Detroit ranked those outfielders. That might have been the person they want. And by the way, weighing in on all of this, and we'll take your phone calls, of course, at 855-97-LA-FAN. But when it comes to the fan response, right, what we're discussing to the Dodgers acquiring TARIK Skubal, this is interesting from TARIK Skubal.
I didn't get to. Every team could trade for me. Every team could make that acquisition. And I don't really sympathize with people that blame the Dodgers for anything they've done. They've developed a really good organization. They draft well. They acquire talent really well. They retain talent. It's a winning organization. Now the complaints seem to be because they've won the last 2 World Series. I don't think it was like that 3 years ago. So I don't really sympathize with people that are complaining because the Dodgers, do all the right things.
That's such a great answer. That is the equivalent of an answer, DMAC, of Myles Garrett throwing out the first pitch at Dodger Stadium, just in terms of that is how you do it.
Yeah, that's a quotable pitcher right there. Someone that is going to stand on business and say, hey, look, in Major League Baseball, players love the Dodgers. Players love what the Dodgers do. I remember when Bryce Harper said a couple of years ago, he said, hey, if you're against what the Dodgers are doing, then you're a loser, right? Because these players, these guys are competitors. That's how they got to this level. And I think if you're a team out there, and we don't know even exactly what the Brewers' offer was to the Dodgers at this point, or the Rays, the Yankees, other teams that were interested, how close other teams got to trading for TARIK Skubal. But it does feel like all of these teams that were at least in the red zone or on the 10-yard line to get TARIK Skubal probably said to themselves, hey, but what if it doesn't work, right? And they were just trying to doubt maybe what it would require to push them over the top. The Brewers, if they had given up their top prospects, that would have been such a significant haul over Zaire Hope and River Ryan that they could have gotten him. But to me, the Brewers, they were acting like someone who had the lottery ticket, but they're worried about paying the taxes, right? Like that downer. It was like, oh, I don't want to win the lottery. All the taxes you got to pay. What if it doesn't work? Too much self-doubt. But the thing is, scared money doesn't make money. And in baseball, scared organizations, they're not going to make history. And I think that was the biggest. I hope that that's what people take away from this.
I somewhat respectfully disagree. But you just said it a few minutes ago, so I'll quote you to counter. I do think that they just can't replenish the way the Dodgers can, and so it's a different. So there's a combination of things. It's a different equation for Milwaukee. I have no sympathy for the Yankees. I have no sympathy for like half of the teams out there that should have been in on it. For the Brewers, they have created sort of a system and a process where they're always in it, and they're in it now. So I actually have less judgment on them not going for it because they have proven themselves to be well run. And I do recognize there's a world where they sit in their sort of front office and they decide, you know what, we could get Skubal, we could offer all this, it would be a lot, but we actually think we can beat the Dodgers this year, and we think if we don't make this trade, we can beat the Dodgers in the years ahead. I respect that. I don't know if it is scared money. I respect that calculation. I don't have the same respect for Brian. I don't have any respect for Brian Cashman in general, but for sort of Cashman and other organizations' approach to this. Do you want to hear Andrew Friedman's perspective?
Let's hear it.
On DMAC and Reiter. Andrew Friedman. He is the GOAT, isn't he? Dude, it's amazing. Anyway, we're giving him his flowers, but he deserves them.
He signed Kyle Tucker. I don't know about that.
Okay, he sucks then. Just kidding, Andrew. Andrew Friedman spoke. We got to get him on now. Now that the deadline's done, got to rock that.
Fingers crossed. That's all I'm going to say.
Andrew. Okay. All you're gonna say is
I'm working on it.
I know you are. You're the freaking best. Andrew Friedman spoke to the media yesterday and explained the team's successful thought process, it turns out, behind the Skubal pursuit.
Whenever there's a star-level player that is available that can really shift championship odds, those are the moments that we'll be more aggressive. And we've tried in other instances and not lined up, and others where we have. But I think being by the backboard and doing everything we can to put ourselves in the best position with the core we have right now, with the way they go about their preparation to do everything they can to win a championship. When we can add to that and enhance our chances, we're going to be aggressive to do so.
And DMAC, you gave us these odds earlier, and I've forgotten here on DMAC and Reiter. Is it 4 or 5%? In terms of the shift for the Dodgers' likelihood of winning the World Series pre- and post-Skubal acquisition?
Yeah, so if you look at the odds, basically right now the Dodgers are given a 41% chance of winning the World Series. But if you look at Fangraph's model, which a lot of people in the industry really like, and they tend to be pretty accurate, it went from 26% to 30.8% chance that the Dodgers win the World Series, which is actually saying a lot for a guy
that's wild.
That might pitch once a series, right? That tells you how dominant he has the potential to be. Could maybe pitch once or twice in a series, but you raise those World Series odds to almost 5% more. So the dude's an absolute dog.
He is so good. It's DMAC and Reiter. It's the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. We're making sense of the MLB trade deadline, all the things that have gone down. If you want to call in, weigh in, we've had so many phone calls today. We welcome as many phone calls as you all want to do. So if you want to share your perspective on Skubal or any of the other trades that have gone down, phone number is 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN, and Doug and I would love to talk to you. Dave Roberts, also, of course, in Chicago, gave his thoughts on the team's pursuit of Skubal.
Yeah, I think obviously you can feel the energy, the excitement, the buzz, and this was a different year in the sense that it was Skubal or nothing. I think essentially where we have a lot of good players, a lot of good depth, and already, and so there wasn't a whole lot of in typical years, there's a lot of speculation and guys wondering where they're going to land, if something's going to happen. But I think this year, even with this addition, we obviously got a whole lot better. But, guys are going to be the guys and the roles are the roles. And, we're just, like I said, we're just thrilled.
I mean, it is amazing. And I know we know this, but to hear Dave Roberts say it, they didn't need Skubal. You keep saying this. They could get him. And there's a difference. They didn't need him because they've done such a good job.
Yeah, and that's what I was pretty much harping for the last couple of months was, I could list out 10 or 20 players that the Dodgers could pursue, but I always felt in my heart of hearts that they would not bring in someone unless they were a significant game changer. And in this case, you're getting a multi-time Cy Young Award winner, and you're also keeping away from a team you could potentially play in the postseason. So they had their eyes set on Skubal for a long time, and it's Andrew Friedman, man. He gets deals done. He is the ultimate closer. They got Edwin Diaz as their closer. He's their closer, man. He closes big deals.
He really, I mean, it isn't, and we've talked about this, but for people that are out there frustrated with the Dodgers, they did this through a farm system that they've been superior at developing than most, not every, but most other organizations in baseball without drafting high on the draft. Now, the amateur draft is American players. Obviously, money is an advantage when you talk about sort of scouting Latin America and Japan and Korea and Central America, but they've done an incredible job just dominating every fixture and every part of this sport. There's a negative reaction to that. People get mad, people get angry, people get frustrated. And in talking to the media about Skubal, Dave Roberts also visited with and talked about that negative reaction and that side of things to this TARIK Skubal trade.
It just seems like there's always blowback with us. People are passionate. We feel good about it. There's nothing that we did that no one else couldn't have done. I just laud our front office. We have to have the players to be able to pull something like this off. And, we still got, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 or 3 farm systems in baseball, a day later. So it's a credit to a lot of people in this organization.
I'm not picking on this guy. Do you know who probably didn't love the news? Emmett Sheehan.
Yeah, it has been a good run for Emmett Sheehan of late. He's still trying to figure things out mechanically. But I love how Dave Roberts is willing to address these things and talk about these things. And I know he's got to be using it as fuel, too, because that team was absolutely pumped to have a TARIK Skubal. No, hey, we're the bad guys, right? We are the villains. I mean, they are the Death Star of baseball at this point. They're powerful. People are trying to find their weakness.
They can destroy other planets.
This team honestly probably could.
Princess Leia's there.
Princess Leia, Chewie, the whole gang.
There's some weird creature in the garbage. We don't know how that got there.
Dark Vader's there. That's what my daughter calls him. Not Darth. She calls him Dark Vader.
We have a video of when Henry was, 1 or 2 going to daycare. It's 15 minutes long of Lori just driving and Henry asking why Obi Kenobi was killed by Darth Vader. Why Obi Kenobi? Well, because weren't they friends?
You were the chosen one.
Who's the chosen one? You think Skubal's the best pitcher on this baseball team?
I think pound for pound right now, I have
he's
to
the
say
Jedi
yes.
Master.
In
Bursch's language.
I mean, it's like a garage full of Bugattis, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Rolls Royces. I mean, they're all elite. But I think Skubal, what I think he has going for him is he hasn't had to pitch deep into the postseason like the rest of these guys had to last year. Also, my man is playing for that big bag, right? There's going to be a lot at stake. If he dominates his way to the postseason, wins an NLCS MVP or World Series MVP, he locks up that $400 million, and he's got a World Series ring too.
DMAC on DMAC and Reiter, I think Mercenary's not bad. I think Mercenary's a good thing. I'm okay with it, right? Been some semantical disagreements on that. I don't think it's a straw man argument to bring that up. I think it's a legitimate thing. Here's what I will say, and I'm being maybe 50% facetious and 50% serious. If you're the Dodgers and you decide, if you've already decided you're not going to pay TARIK Skubal $400 million, or you get indications that he might why not pitch him 115 pitches if that's what is required in the key moments? I was thinking about this. Like, yeah, you and I disagree on how much to pitch Ohtani, but you got to protect Ohtani long-term investment. True for a lot of these guys. Skubal is currently a hired mercenary. Are you a little more comfortable going a little deeper in pitch counts if need be?
For me, I think
am.
all these guys.
180 pitches.
All these guys across the board. I think outside of Shohei Ohtani,
all of them.
I think all of them. Blake Snell, Glasnow, Yamamoto pitched so much last season.
Not Roki, though.
I think Roki's a little bit of governor too, for sure. But for Skubal, I
112 pitches every time.
As long as he's effective. I mean, 120 is a little ridiculous. You want his arm to fall off.
I'm talking more in October.
If it's the difference between
early.
Let's say the bullpen hasn't been great, because last year the bullpen wasn't good.
I'm talking game 1 of the playoffs.
You wanted to go full blown Fernando Valenzuela in 1981.
If you need him to, he's a rental.
So the concern there is, during the WBC, there was a lot of controversy because he didn't want to pitch deep into games because of it. He is going to be a free agency. I'm sure there will be some conversations. Remember in 2021?
Sounds like something that's his problem.
Well, yeah, I mean, but the Dodgers do have a history here. In 2021, after they traded for Max Scherzer and Trey Turner, Max Scherzer, who had pitched well in the early rounds, he was supposed to go in Game 6. All of a sudden, he had a case of dead arm, and Walker Buehler ended up pitching on short rest. The Dodgers lost that series, and then miraculously, Max Scherzer's dead arm was resurrected enough to pick up a pen to sign a big contract with the New York Mets. So there have been examples of when the Dodgers have an elite pitcher headed towards free agency. I think for TARIK Skubal, 100-plus pitches, if he needs to go 120, and if the Dodgers bullpen isn't there, I'm for it too. I mean, whatever it takes. There might never be baseball again after this year, okay? So whatever it takes to win 3 straight titles, if that means running TARIK Skubal into the ground, I agree with you.
Maybe it's because I saw the new Spider-Man movie this weekend, but you say whatever it takes, and I see the Avengers in those stupid like costumes. Whatever it takes. It's a great show. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
I'm sure that's the mindset for this team too.
Whatever it takes, TARIK Skubal. Whatever
200 pitches
takes. Should we keep doing some Dodgers talk, some Skubal talk?
Streets are loving it.
Some magic. The streets are loving it.
Yeah.
You know who else loved it? This trade? Freddie Freeman. You'll hear from him. Not here. You'll hear from him. Words. They're hard. Next on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. He's Doug McCain. I'm Bill Reiter. Happy Monday. This is DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's 40222. There are no spoilers on Brand New Day, DMAC, other than it's awesome. Here's a spoiler on the MLB trade deadline. Lots of moves. Doesn't matter. Dodgers are the team to beat times a million. And here's a little bit of news. Brandon Gomes said that Chris Bubich through his first bullpen session yesterday, plan is to build him up as a reliever. This is obviously the player that today, kind of not under the radar, but not as big a news as Skubal, one of the guys the Dodgers went out and got kind of from the Royals, has been a very impressive starting pitcher. That's what he's been in his career, and has been very good until this year, the last 3 years, for sort of like a guy who's kind of under the radar.
I like it.
All-star last year, too.
All-star, he has, when he's, too, it's not really about just fixing anything really in particular, right? I think that with Eric Lauer, they wanted him to be in the zone more. They fix his changeup a little bit. For him, it's not like you're looking for this big uptick in velocity or something like that. And I think that for Bubich, someone that they feel like if they need him in the pen, they can trust him right away. That goes a long way, too, because this team in this bullpen, they have a combination of established veterans and young and up-and-coming guys. And typically when you get to the postseason, you want to lean on your veterans. And Bubich is a guy that kind of give him that.
I earlier praised Aaron Rodgers and nominated him for the DMAC and Reiter Hero of the Week. That didn't feel good, but it was the right thing to do because he did call out ESPN for not reporting on or talking about Diana Rossini, who, by the way, at the time of that debacle, didn't even work for ESPN. I don't know if you have it in you, or you should in this case, do the same thing for A.J. Preller. But I'm going to read you something, and maybe you to Preller meet Aaron Rodgers today. Because here is the Padres GM when asked if the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Quote, when you have great teams and you have great players, it just raises the bar of other people and other players and other teams. Our focus is on what we needed to do to get better and our group and our team. But the main part of that is he didn't take the bait. He just said it raises the bar.
Hey, that's what you want to hear. He's not afraid. The thing about Preller, man, he's just one of those guys where he's always going to try to double down. He's always going to try to win now. And the truth is, Major League Baseball would be a much better place if there were more A.J. Prellers and there were more San Diego Padres. I'm going to have to wash my mouth out with soap.
We both feel kind of like...
I kind of barfed a little bit.
Yeah, me too with the Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
we're both kinda
I know.
yeah.
But we also proved
Can
that...
we drink on the air? Because I could use a strong bourbon right now.
Our boss gave me some espresso here, and I think it's a little much for me. I'm kind of wired right now.
You look a little off.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Eyes dilated.
In a great way.
So, I mean...
Did you just scream that? I'm done!
It's got me saying things. It's got me giving the San Diego Padres compliments, but hearing A.J. Preller say that, I think he speaks like a guy that has his pulse, has his finger on the pulse of what a lot of GMs feel like around Major League Baseball is, they wish that they had an ownership group as aggressive and with the resources the Dodgers have. And to his credit, he hasn't been afraid. Like I said, he's that blackjack player at the casino that he doesn't wait for the good hand. He just keeps doubling down, trying to win his money back. That's who Preller is.
He's an idiot?
You said it, not me.
He's a degenerate idiot?
He is I think you could call him a degenerate, man.
I'm just trying to keep up with it, because you're the analogy.
I'm just saying, like, he's that... Preller is always
you're a word like you're like an old like a wild west word with like whoa there's bullets flying, there's
you gotta get Neo in the
cards
Matrix
and aces and a deck of cards and a blackjack hand and
Look, I will say Preller, he's not a seller, man. He's a guy that he's a buyer, and he's trying to be aggressive and win. So
Preller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that espresso hit you.
Yeah, it did. It got me, man.
Really? Do you want to hear Freddie Freeman?
Yeah, I do.
Freddie Freeman gave his reactions to the Skubal trade on NBC yesterday.
Glad he's on our side now. Whenever you see the Tigers on the schedule, you kind of circle like, oh, are we going to draw TARIK or are we not going to draw him? It's fun to be part of an organization that goes out there and tries to win every single year. We have a great farm system that drafts well. We develop well. That teams want our guys, and credit to our front office to go out there and go get those star players to hopefully win a championship again.
That is freaking hilarious, dude.
Freddie's a character, man. He's just so unapologetically himself. America's first baseman, man.
I'm glad there was some truth in that laugh. I'm glad he's not our side. Oh, dear God.
He's got
Lord save
the
us.
big old Stanley Ipkiss veneers from the mask, just shining and smiling. You love Freddie Freeman.
So where do you think, do you know, where do most of the Dodgers live? I know where most of the NBA players live. Is there like a Dodger sort of
There's
zone?
some that live by you for sure, but a lot of the
Okay.
young guys will kind of live on the part of the valley kind of near the 5 because it's kind of right by there. So, yeah, that whole area.
Not a downtown vibe.
I don't know too many that live in downtown.
I know a couple.
A lot of them rent. They have houses. They have houses in Arizona.
I don't
but
mean
some
where they live in the off-season. They're not living in...
That's what I'm saying. Some of them rent. So, like, sometimes there
God.
are some...
But no one's
some
living in
that have-
Arizona and like flying in every day on
No, no one's doing that.
Southwest,
No, that's
you know?
that's not happening. No.
You know what I'm saying? Where's Dalton? Yeah, his flight got delayed from Phoenix.
He's in Phoenix.
Yeah. Dalton better be rushing to work.
He better
with that
be.
commute. We're getting a little slap happy. 855-97 LA fan. You okay? Am I okay?
Yeah.
Is it all good? You sure?
Yeah.
All right. You want some more? Do you want some more sound for people?
Yeah, what we got?
Miggy Rojas. Also, obviously, everyone is reacting to the MLB trade deadline, which came and went an hour and 38 minutes ago. TARIK SKUBAL became a Dodger. That trade the news was broken on Saturday, and Miggy Rojas, gave his thoughts on what that massive move means for his Dodgers.
It's a statement from this organization to the rest of the league and the world. They're not just satisfied with what happened the last couple of years. And we had a little conversation with Doug the other day, the position player group, and he's really into winning this year. So he say, obviously he cares about winning the last two, and it's really important for him and for us. But he say he don't really care about what happened the last 2 years. He wants to win this year, like a press button for us to kind of continue to go and not let the rest of the league caught up to our standards, and we just gotta keep it up there. And for the front office to go out there and lend that punch is really impressive.
Are you guys good, by the way, you and Miggy?
We're good. Yeah, we're good. I've said what's up to him once since. I thought about texting him yesterday, but I feel like maybe we're not back to being text buddies. But I will say that I think that Miguel Rojas kind of gives you some insight. And hey, yes, this organization, they want to win. And Miguel Rojas is another reminder that this is possibly his last year. He did leave the door open for his future, but there's a world where this is the last for this group as far as this team still having their core in their primes. Freddie Freeman's still great. Still been some slippage. Mookie Betts, he's below average offensively.
That's a very, very kind way to describe what Mookie Betts has been. We're going to do this tomorrow, right?
We could.
He's been garbage, dude, offensively. I don't say that like with any joy. Or do you want me to, he's been awful.
He's struggled. He's struggled.
To your point.
He's struggled. And I think that you kind of change
Was
where
garbage a little aggressive?
Garbage might have been a little aggressive.
Was it inaccurate?
I'm not so sure it was inaccurate.
Okay, but maybe a little much.
But maybe a little much.
A little mercenary-ish of me.
Look, so for me, it's not that I'm down to call players trash, garbage, whatever, right? But I think that the difference between Mookie Betts for me is if his offense.
You're two-way. Dude,
so let me.
I think it was way too much. I'll do it, though. I always do it. I'm not afraid. It was not okay. You got to pick a lane.
I know the lane for Mookie is interesting, though, just because he's been really elite defensively at a premium position. So if he was still in right field putting up those terrible numbers, then I think the garbage label is more appropriate. But the fact that he's still very, very good defensively and has a role for this team, I think you have to factor that in as well.
I get it. I've heard it. I love it. I like it. I want some more of it. I also think it's tenuous. A little. Sorry, anyway.
You're right. But you're right. He's 13% below league average offensively. Typically in his career, Mookie's been anywhere from 20 to 60%. So we are talking about the worst year that Mookie Betts has had at the plate. I still will take it to my grave.
Had been the worst year.
It was, yeah.
So I don't want to do the show before the show or the segment before the segment.
For sure.
There's a decline that is worse. But to your point, like this is a last hurrah for some of these guys, maybe.
I think so. And you consider, too, the looming lockout and the uncertainty.
That's a great call,
Of course, a lot of those contracts will be grandfathered in, if anything, right? So the Dodgers will have 4 or 5 years of player contracts if there is some type of salary cap, which I just don't think players will ever agree to, but that's a whole separate conversation. But I do think that these guys truly understand that this is the end of this core's championship window. When it's Freddie and Mookie and could be Snell, Yamamoto, Glass now. TARIK SKUBAL might not be back after this year. He's going to be a pending free agent. Shohei Ohtani isn't getting any younger. Max Muncy isn't getting any younger. So I think part of...
They're not reverse aging?
They're not reverse aging.
No Benjamin Buttonism there?
No Benjamin Buttoning.
I've never seen that movie. I have a question for you. I know we have to go, but I know, Birch. I just want to understand the rules of the game. Every now and then, you'll bring up your chat with your mysterious friends, or you'll bring up an actual chat by way of being like, Bill's wrong, but you're my pal, Bill. But you're right. It's okay. Am I allowed to do the same thing when people go at you in the chat? Or is
yes.
Are you sure?
I want all the smoke. Everyone knows that's my rep, man.
Is Maedi one? Garbage is what he's been. Facts. DMAC is afraid.
Okay. Has he been bad offensively? Has he been garbage offensively? I'm not a... Look, it's okay. Has he been bad offensively? 100%. And has he also provided a ton of value defensively, which makes it average out? So it's almost like he's garbage offensively, but defensively he provides value, and he's not garbage.
I gotta come with a term. Like I was gonna say, speaking out of your mouth 2 ways.
Overall,
DMAC.
he's a positive player. Believe it or not.
Double DMAC or something.
Okay, it's not double. Okay,
you know what's great? You are, and Dodgers talk, and Skubal being a Dodger, and all of that continues next on DMAC and Reiter. you walking into Andrew's office. Welcome back into the
had
show.
One shot.
Hit it.
Would you answer it?
You gonna keep going?
Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Bill Spaghetti. Thought you're a cook.
I don't want to get in your way.
We're good. I'll hit the next bars next time. Shout out to Eminem. Slim Shady.
We know whose song it is. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com. Baseball coverage, and apparently a threat by Doug. Baseball coverage on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports, is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. So I want to imagine this. There's a nebulous threat that your friends have cooked up that you're going to get me or something?
So Bill always brings up this group chat that I have with my friends who are very supportive that watch every episode.
Why do I bring it up?
You bring it up. You bring it up when I mention you things that they say about you.
Every day.
They don't like your takes on
Yes.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Some of them are CR7 fans. I actually side with you on that one. But my friends, they presented me with an idea of something that they think I should do when I come back from Spain. So I'm going to Barcelona, your favorite city in the world, in a couple of weeks.
Dude, you're going to love it.
And they presented me with a great idea of something that would shock you. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to do it when I come back. I can't wait to see a look on your face.
I can't wait to see it.
I cannot wait to see a look on your face. I'm almost afraid to see it.
Are you okay? Are you ready for a phone call from someone kinder than you?
Let's go.
At 855-97
You're going to be so pissed.
Am I?
Yeah.
855. I probably deserve it. 855-97 LA fan. Scott's in New York City. Scott, thank you for hanging with us in the Big Apple. You are on DMAC and Reiter.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me. Great show. You guys sound like you're having a good time.
Thanks, brother.
Have a little bit of what you're having over there. But anyway,
espresso, baby.
It's 8:00 at night here. I can't drink coffee. I just wanted to talk about real quick, with the Skubal thing, and specifically about the Brewers, because they keep coming up. And I'm a Dodgers fan. The last several years, the Brewers have been so close, right? The Dodgers knocked them out a few times. I think 2 years ago, the Mets knocked them out. They've been so close, and I understand you have to protect the farm system and all that, but why not, take a big swing this year? They're in the hunt. They could go, pretty far deep into the playoffs. And sure, you might be giving up some prospects, but why settle on being a bridesmaid every year? Why not take a big swing this year and try to win the whole thing? I mean, I'm kind of confused why what their strategy is there.
It's a great question, dude. Thank you, Scott, for the phone call.
Yeah,
I think there's two ways. There's two answers, right?
There is. I think that the interesting thing, Bill, to me is that the Brewers have the top prospect in all of Major League Baseball, in Jesus Mate. He's a shortstop, though, right? He's the top prospect. And then you look at Zaire Hope. He was someone that 25th best 25th best prospect, and the Dodgers' fourth best outfield prospect. The best outfield prospect for the Brewers was at 64, Luis Lara, and you have another infielder that's a top prospect, 18th overall, in Luis Pena. So I'm curious to see what Detroit was looking for. A lot of teams, when you trade a piece like a TARIK Skubal, you're just looking to get the very best players available. And I guarantee you, had they made Jesus Mate available, you would have to believe that the Tigers would have been receptive to that
100%.
idea.
And as we've discussed, and again, we don't know the calculations going in the Detroit's front office, what they value, and we don't know the Brewers' thinking. But I think we can guess that if we discussed this earlier. But Scott, and thanks for the call, dude. If you're Milwaukee and you trade away the top prospect, your top prospect, one of the top prospect in baseball, your ability to get that level of a player back is much lower than the Dodgers for a variety of reasons. And so you have to be sure that you can do it. Now, that you can succeed, that this sort of rental, because Skubal's not going to be a Brewer next year, right? That's the other thing. There's zero. The Dodgers bring in Skubal, and you get to sell him on what maybe Skubal already kind of knows. This might be the place that I want to be if the money's there. Brewers don't have the money. They can't pay that kind of money. They don't have $300 million for a pitcher, let alone $400 million. They're not going to do it. But it is frustrating. Jacob Mizorowski actually was asked and had a response to sort of the same thing that Scott's asking. What happened at the deadline?
What are your views?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to answer it.
Even on the Dodgers?
I'm not even. Yeah, I'm good. So you can just stop the question.
I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know if I could see where he'd be a little frustrated, but that's part of the deal. If the Brewers could have gone for it. I wouldn't have been mad if they had gone for it, and I'm not mad that they didn't, from a Brewers perspective, which we don't really care about.
Yeah, and I told you, I was talking to a scout with the Dodgers for almost an hour yesterday, and we were talking about the Brewers and Jacob Mizorowski, and one thing he told me that I found pretty interesting was with the way that he throws and the velocity at which he can go to, how many more years is Jacob Mizorowski even going to be Jacob Mizorowski? So if you're the Milwaukee Brewers...
How many years did he say?
At any moment, right? I mean, you just never know. With a guy that throws that hard, we know how that usually ends, right? What did Billy Beane say? There's two types of pitchers in Major League Baseball. There are ones that have had Tommy John and ones that are going to have Tommy John, right? So it feels like that could be something that's inevitable. I hate to talk about that because I know it's a sensitive subject, but it is a reality, and that's another reason why I felt like the Milwaukee Brewers, who I firmly believe made a massive mistake in that they weren't outbid for TARIK SKUBAL. They were outbraved. Like, they just chickened out.
How do you know?
Because I just feel like the bottom line is they did not offer their top prospect was the top prospect in baseball. And if the Detroit Tigers, even as much as they like River Ryan potentially, who, by the way...
What is the Brewers' odds of winning the World Series right now?
I'll have to look that up.
Here's my thing, though. I'm playing devil's advocate because it's fun, but it's also part of Sports Talk Radio here on the new 97 on the Fan, the voice of LA Sports. The Dodgers, you told us, went from 26 to basically 31% to win the World Series and get in Skubal. If the Brewers don't go in that sort of percentage above the Dodgers' 26% pre-Skubal acquisition, which I don't think they would, I could see where it doesn't make sense. Like, if you're not the favorite, if it's still not likely, I could see where the Brewers would say, we really need this dude because we cannot sign in free agency and we cannot acquire talent that we can then pay to stay the same way that our National League rivals can.
I see the logic. I 100% do, Bill. But here's the thing about the Brewers and why I think they made a catastrophic mistake is that you've never won a World Series in Milwaukee. You have the best record in baseball. You have the best pitcher in baseball.
It's a great call, dude. It's a great point.
If you were ever going to do it, then why not now?
So I don't hate it. I'm not, and I like that you are this sort of binary. I'm not that binary. For me, so this is how I evaluate NFL drafts all the time, which people hated, and maybe why I didn't do it in NBA drafts. Everybody wants to tell me and you and everyone else, here's why I like this prospect. Here's why I like Ty Simpson. I am much more interested in who is drafting someone to evaluate whether it works. Like, I think the tail wags the dog on way too much of our analysis. So for me, the Brewers have such a track record of excellence that I trust their process more than I would say if it was the Padres, frankly.
True, but here's the thing. I mean, they were so afraid of losing the future and forgot that the future is worthless if you never win in the present. They're always in the future, always in the future.
Did they forget? I'm not sure they forgot. Like, it's you're like very black and white.
Obviously, like, look, can the Brewers still win the World Series this year even without TARIK SKUBAL? Yes, but I think that the message to me that was sent loud and clear is that there's this illusion around the league that other franchises are going to be as aggressive to win. And yes, you don't have the resources like the Dodgers, right? But even in a world where there's a salary cap, other major markets are going to have more resources than the Milwaukee Brewers. So I just feel like it was a missed opportunity. It would have excited the entire league if there was going to be a team that was going to go up against the big, bad Los Angeles Dodgers. But no, it's going to be the Brewers. They're probably not going to win the World Series, and it's going to be another franchise in a small market that doesn't win anything.
I respect the take. I respect the perspective. And by the way, if it were me, if I ran the Brewers, I am with you. I would say to hell with it, and I would go for it, and I would pair Mizorowski and Skubal and think this is especially with Ohtani a little bit banged up, I would just think maybe, and not knowing what Snell and Glasnow are going to be. Now, you're sort of clutching at straws, but that's all you can do if you have to live in a world where you're competing against Andrew Friedman and the Dodgers. The Dodgers aren't going to get worse in 2 years or 3 years or 5 years if Friedman still wants to be around. So I am with you. But I also bet the hard ways when I go to Vegas and have gambled at every step of my life on me. And so I don't disagree with you. I just understand where maybe Milwaukee has a different process. It is the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. He is Doug McCain, the best Dodgers expert in the world. And I'm the other guy, Bill Reiter. And we love doing this show. We appreciate you. We've had so many phone calls. We got an hour to go. So call back in, 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. We'll keep talking Skubal and the Dodgers next on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. He's Doug McCain. I'm Bill Reiter. This is DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Phone number 855-97-LA-FAN. You can also stream the show on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. If you're in the car, if you're listening to the FM, set that 97.1. Get it locked in. Hang out with us when you're hanging, chilling, driving around LA. What is your least favorite road commute place in LA? Mine's the 405.
I would say
subtract from the sum of all human joy.
I mean, to me, it's that 110. The 110 when it's super packed. You going kind of by Dodger Stadium after that.
Oh, yeah.
My mom used to live in Mount Washington. When I lived in Santa Monica, it would take me literally like an hour and 30 minutes to go from Santa Monica to Mount Washington.
I have the easy pass, whatever pass thing it's called. So when I'm taking the 105 to the 101. I get to the cool on the left lane where you go up and where they did La La Land.
Oh, yeah.
I always love that drive. Even then I get in the traffic. It's such
Didn't they shut that street down? They did it in reverse, right?
Yeah. I love driving past. I will pay money to drive past other people who are stuck. It's so terrible of me. It's just like, it makes me feel so good about my life.
Oh, I know all the tricks. Like, so if you're on Sunset and everyone is in the same 3 lanes, you go into the turning lane, and then right when it turns green, you merge in front.
Oh, dude, there's one of those. So there's a move that I do every day on my way home, officer, that is absolutely an accident and saves me so much. One thing I love about LA, like one of the best things about Los Angeles, because I'm a fairly aggressive driver, is that it's hard to know how to commute if you do a commute you haven't done. But if you lock into the same route, you can figure out, now I go in the left lane, now I go straight for a mile, now I get in the right lane, I wait until here, I go through this light and cut the person off. Like, it becomes a game.
It does,
I compete every day.
It's like you're just like Mario Kart in real life.
It really is.
Yeah.
Officer with total safety. We're going to do a giveaway. We're going to thank people. Call in right now to receive a 4-pack of tickets to Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine. Beat the heat for less with affordable summer fun at Wild Rivers Park. I go to Wild Rivers Park with you, DMAC. You're a water park guy. Over 25 attractions for all ages. Yes, you are, including DMAC. They've got multiple kiddie zones for younger guests. Thrill rides, that's for you, like Aquaconda and Boomerango, Lazy River, Wave Pool, Cabanas, and so much more. Let's make a day of it. Me and you, buddy. Expanded food and beverage options. Keep the whole family fueled for fun. Lowest ticket prices available at wildrivers.com. That's wildrivers.com. Caller number 4 right now gets a 4-pack of tickets to Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine. That is caller number 4 at 855-97-LA-FAN, 855-97-LA-FAN. This is Henry's dream. Henry keeps asking me to... So one day, the folks here at the cluster that we're a part of on 97.1 The Fan... one day they were nice enough to give my kids tickets to some amusement park, and every day Henry asks me if I can get him free stuff at the office. I'm like, no, man, it doesn't work that way. And he's been asking for the last 2 weeks about a water park. So I'm just going to go to wildrivers.com and just pretend I got it for free.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Because they're great deals.
I'm down to roll.
Caller number 4.
Got some new board shorts.
Do you?
Yeah.
855-97-LA-FAN. People are weighing in on your sort of look earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
I told you, this is the Bill Reiter special. Just a black T-shirt.
It was more... Yeah. It's great, though.
You started a trend. I wore...
Because your wife said it's Manhattan Beach dad look or something?
Yeah, Manhattan Beach dad look. Yeah.
Is it a T-shirt?
No, not necessarily that, because you got the shadow,
the shadow.
5 o'clock shadow, the beard,
yeah,
the hair, just the whole vibe,
the
too.
The hair is more of a Venice Beach thing.
Yeah, I guess it's more Venice Beach, Manhattan Beach. Good point.
Yeah, I went to play tennis the other day, and they called security on me.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, well.
I saw you wearing your tennis shoes today.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you did.
You're very observant with the clay.
I am, yeah.
I haven't played tennis in a hot minute. 855-97-LA-FAN. Birch is going through the callers. It looks like we're going to have a winner. We'll announce that in a little bit. The starting lineup for the Dodgers, which is actually the game's probably underway, right? I forgot, 5 o'clock first pitch?
Yeah.
Well,
Shohei got a single. Tommy Edmonds hit a 3-run home run.
No, he did not.
Tommy tanks.
It's 3-0?
It is.
Update us.
It's
3-0. Information.
Tommy Edmonds just hit a 3-run home run. Shohei Ohtani had a leadoff single.
Pages get a walk?
Not sure. Did Pages walk? Maybe Bursch knows. I was talking to you at the water parks for a second.
In fairness, you're doing your job.
But Tommy did hit a 3-run shot, so it's great to see an early 3-0 lead for the Dodgers at Wrigley.
Do you know who I credit for this? TARIK SKUBAL.
Yeah.
It's the SKUBAL effect.
The SKUBAL effect.
Since SKUBAL has come in, the Dodgers have basically never failed to score a run. Not got it out.
There you go. Hey, seeing him in that dugout it's still pretty surreal to me.
Even though that doesn't really make sense because they played yesterday.
And they lost, yeah.
They got swept.
But They're on the road, though. Different story with Skubal and the team on the road.
That's it.
That's the big difference there.
He's like Kyle Tucker, but even better.
Probably take him at the bat with them. That was a shot.
Was that shots fired?
They just showed Kyle Tucker.
Remember when we talked about whether Kyle Tucker should do a little bit of a, like a little bit of a tour and like glad hand, and it turns out maybe he just hit. that might have.
That's the first option.
Option number one.
Put the bat on the ball and find some grass.
Tell me more about it.
Yeah, there's my hitting instruction there. So that would be. I did think about that yesterday, though. I really did. Just kind of the post-trade deadline, the boost of TARIK SKUBAL. Will that make Kyle Tucker not extra motivated? There's a different buzz surrounding this team. There always is after the deadline, but now more so than ever. They just added a 2-time Cy Young Award winner to the team that was already the favorite to win the World Series.
Here's something I was going to ask you, and this is Win the Weeds. And if you don't know, nobody does. Did Skubal have a preferred catcher? I wonder.
That's a good question.
I think he did, and I think it was like the Rogers guy, but I don't even know if he was still there at the end. But I remember from a year ago, just reading on him I think he was one of these guys that liked the same catcher over and over and over again. And not that it's a huge significant thing, but obviously Dalton Rushing has. Do we think it's an elbow strain? Is that where we are on the injury? And obviously Will Smith has been battling injury, and the Dodgers went out and got not one but two catchers for depth.
You should have traded for Jake Rogers with Skubal, right? Just to assure it. But
throw him in.
You're absolutely right, though. I mean, that there was a direct connection there with Skubal and Rogers, and those guys are creatures of habit. I will kind of point to Clayton Kershaw towards the end of his career when Austin Barnes was really his personal catcher, and then Will Smith started to hit, and he turned into an all-star catcher. So they said, hey, you better just figure out how to be able to perform with Will Smith behind the dish. So Skubal's a pro. He's going to adapt. But that is just another thing that's going to be a part of the transition for him is, hey, you're going to have to not only pitch to another catcher, but you might not even pitch to the two catchers that were supposed to be behind the dish. That's a great point. I mean, he's got to make chemistry with Eliezer Alfonso or Hunter Fiducia or Ben Rortvedt. We'll see how fast Dalton Rushing get back, but that's an interesting wrinkle here as Skubal makes his first start tomorrow.
If things go well, it's DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. If things go well for the Dodgers and for Skubal, which we expect, then the guys, he'll be the person or people that will be catching him in October, he might not throw to for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We just don't know on the rushing situation.
Yeah, it could take some time. And catchers' injuries typically, Kyle Tucker just flew out to right.
Oh, man, I actually got excited. See, this is the difference between you and me. I will say this. You're more cold-hearted than I am.
Sometimes.
You're nicer but more cold-hearted. There's whereas I want Kyle Tucker to be successful, but when he's not, I will say that he sucks. Right?
Yeah.
I was excited for him. Good, he's going to be at his locker. Oh, Doug is pulling the okie dokie on me.
Hey, I keeps it 100. What are we talking about? Tucker has been bad this year.
I respect it. No, you do keep it 100.
He's been bad this year, man. And there's no sugarcoating it, especially when you set a contract like that. Teoscar Hernandez gives one a ride to the warning track.
Yeah, no, now I got your...
For the third out. But the Dodgers, they do get the 3-run shot by Tom Yevon. They take a 3-0 lead to the bottom half of the first inning. So good to see a good start for the Dodgers.
So do you in any way, how long does Roki get to be a starter? What is the sort of, Skubal's here, obviously Ohtani is not pitching right now, and it was reiterated by Dave, I think yesterday, was it Dave? Or was it Gomes? That obviously Ohtani, they said Ohtani's still going to pitch, that Skubal acquisition is not a cover for Ohtani. It's just they wanted TARIK SKUBAL. Who has to be back? What does the rotation look like, Doug? At what point do you think where Roki just isn't a starter? Well, a lot of guys when
there's a lot of guys, still some question marks, but still, Blake Snell, he's being fast-tracked. He already started his rehab, so the clock has started with him. So you assume that he's going to be back, barring any injury setbacks. And then Tyler Glasnow, when he starts his rehab, that's going to start the clock on him. So you're looking at maybe 30 days, depending on how well it goes. But for someone like Hiroki Sasaki, there's just so much momentum right now. And
dude,
that's the thing.
So well.
He's pitching well. He's at 99 innings now. And for him, it really depends on what they view his role in the bullpen as. Because here's something that I'm reminded of, is I remember talking to Emmett Sheehan at the beginning of the season, And one thing he was telling me was, yeah, it was a little too late for me at least before I got moved to the bullpen. And then to get into that bullpen mindset, that routine, the postseason, it wasn't the smoothest transition. So I think if I'm the Dodgers, and I feel like Roki Sasaki is going to be a part of this bullpen in some capacity and that he's going to be one of the best 14 pitchers, you might want to start that transition sooner. And I wouldn't be surprised, too, if Shohei Ohtani's kept out for an extended period of time. So right now, you're for sure getting Tarik Skubal. That's one. If Yamamoto's still in the rotation, which of course he is, a dark horse Cy Young candidate, that's two. And then you got Roki Sasaki, that's three. Justin Robleski, innings starting to pile up, it's four. You still got Eric Lauer on the roster as well. So I still think that you probably see Roki go another 4 or 5 starts and then possibly transition him into the bullpen for the postseason.
When Snell and Glasnow are back, like where do you think Roki ranks right now in the regular season between Lauer and Robo? Because you also have to weigh, I think, right, they want Roki to develop, and as you noted, he's been absolutely ridiculous lately.
Yeah, that's going to be, look, they mentioned this a couple different times, right, that they want those tough decisions because they're good problems to have. They're champagne problems, so to speak, because it really just points to the fact that guys outside of their big four are pitching well. But I think that every time that Roki Sasaki makes a start at the big league level, it's one step towards being the pitcher he's ultimately going to become. And to me, that's an ace. I don't think you could say the same thing about Justin Robleski or Emmett Sheehan or Eric Lauer. So I do think that they're going to want to give Roki Sasaki as many starts as they can give him, provided that they don't need to kick anyone out of that rotation, just because, look, you got to build up Blake Snell at the big league level to 75 to 100 pitches. Yep. Same thing with Glasnow.
Yep.
The one that I think is interesting to me is the whole Justin Robleski piece of this. He gave 4 home runs in his last start. He's already surpassed his innings total by a significant margin. Maybe you throttle down Justin Robleski a little bit.
Did you think he was getting traded?
I thought that if they had asked for Robleski for Skubal, that they would have included him. And in the back of my mind,
do you think they would have included him if they just said, if they'd said Zaire Hope, River Ryan, Brady Smith, we're almost there, throw in Robo? The Dodgers aren't saying no to that.
I'm with you. I agree with you. I think that the Brewers, the Tigers, they could have gotten more, even though the package they put together was decent. It was fair.
Yeah, that's right.
But if I was, that's the deal that they took. I think on the day that they took it, it showed me that either they were just in love with Zaire Hope and in love with River Ryan, or they just did not get as many
Robo
robust
just gave
offers.
up another home run, by the way.
So that's the thing. Robleski, right on the money in the wrong way. I don't want to will that kind of stuff.
2-run home run. Can I give you my sort of educated guess, and you're the actual sort of reporting expert here on, not just on DMAC and Reiter, you are everywhere, but having covered this stuff at an NBA level for a long time, and an NFL level and college football level many years ago, a little bit, but this kind of sourcing stuff, my guess is that between Zaire Hope, River Ryan, and Smith, and I'm sure it's either River Ryan or Zaire Hope, that the Tigers loved one of those guys, loved, and were worried that for whatever reason the Dodgers would get to a point where forget it, we're full. Because otherwise, why go so fast?
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right, because I think for the longest stretch, and I can tell you from being in Orlando at the winter meetings, the buzz in Orlando was that Detroit really liked Emmett Sheehan. Because Emmett Sheehan before last year, Emmett Sheehan from a stuff standpoint, it was superior to Justin Robleski. It truly was. The way that he had the movement profiles, the velocity, big stuff. But I think what ended up transpiring during the season was we saw Emmett Sheehan's stock go down, and we also saw the buzz around River Ryan early on the season where he was throwing 100 miles per hour, that the velocity was up, they was throwing 6 pitches. And my sneaking suspicion with River Ryan, and just kind of also basing that on him being on this show, just kind of the tone of his voice, right?
Yeah.
I went back and I listened to that.
You did? This weekend?
Yeah, this weekend.
You're an animal, bro.
I need help, okay? But I went back and listened to it, Bill, and just the tone of his voice, you could kind of hear a frustration, and not necessarily aimed at the Dodgers per se, but a frustration knowing that he felt like his time was coming and that he had done everything he needed to do at the minor league level to be able to get that opportunity to win a role and pitch for this team. I heard that he wanted to be a part of the rotation to start the year, and my sneaking suspicion is that the Dodgers, they kept him out for as long as they did because there's just something about MLB teams getting prospects, and Ryan did pitch 4 innings at the big league level a couple years ago, but it's a different thing when you give them the mystery box, right? It's the mystery box prospect. So it's what do we think River Ryan could be with us versus we see what Emmett Sheehan looks like. So I think the Dodgers didn't want to rush him up.
Really interesting.
I think they didn't want to see him get rocked at the big league level, then Sheehan's stock is down, Ryan's stock is down, and then Robo doesn't have the upside that those two guys have. As good as he's been, Robleski, from an upside standpoint, is now a River Ryan or even Emmett Sheehan in my eyes.
Congratulations to Andrew Friedman for being that smart and that good at his job. Congratulations to Dodgers fans for having Andrew Friedman be your president of operations of your team. And congratulations to Y in Fullerton. You won a 4-pack of tickets to Wild Rivers. Beat the heat for less with affordable summer fun at Wild Rivers Water Park in Irvine. Lowest ticket prices available at wildrivers.com. That's wildrivers.com. Just, if I can, if you don't mind, circling back to Roki, he has not had a poor start since July 2nd, so that's over a month. He has had 3 consecutive excellent starts, I would argue, and the start that he had on the 8th of July was a quality start. It was fine. Because we lose sometimes the details when everyone's getting all mad, when in a few years Roki Sasaki is a top 5 pitcher in Major League Baseball, and you and I are doing this show on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, which hopefully 2 or 3 years from now will be a little bit less new, and we're talking about his Cy Young case, and people are saying, oh, the Dodgers went out and bought another guy. Remember, the Dodgers have the courage and the guts to let this dude mature, figure it out, struggle, get bombed, have people like Jeff Passan and maybe the two of us occasionally doubt that it was working at the major league level. They are, at every aspect, they are smarter than everybody else, including the ability to tell Roki Sasaki, we'll bring you in and let you pitch at the major league level. That was the recruitment thing, right? That more than the money. And then they were able to make it work, because this guy was getting destroyed earlier in the year, and the turnaround is extraordinary. And some of that is him. A lot of it's the Dodgers' foresight and sort of courage not to blink in the face of some of those outings that were hard to watch.
He really did, and you're right. I mean, he was up against the wall as far as criticism goes. People saying, hey, maybe this guy is a bust. Maybe this guy isn't as receptive to the Dodgers coaching just because he wanted to do it his way last year. But what I take away from Roki Sasaki's year so far is how receptive he is to try new things, to tinker. That's not easy. When you have a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, the temptation is to go out there and use it as much as possible. Try to make that your number one weapon. With Roki, he tweaked his pitch mix. He swapped out that sweeping slider for a harder splitter-type cutter. It pushed the velocity up on the fastball because the mechanics got better. He's hitting anywhere from 98 to 101. And I think, too, you're seeing that he has kind of developed a thicker skin, right? He can go out there, give up a home run, have a bad inning, but not go off the rails, not have a major meltdown. So I think the cool thing about Roki Sasaki is, look, we get the TARIK Skubals, we get the Shohei Ohtanis and the Blake Snells and the Tyler Glasnows, all those finished products, but Roki Sasaki is someone that has only worn one MLB uniform. That's a Dodgers one. And I think that he's someone that's going to grow into one of the faces of this team. So they have the luxury to do it too. I mean, not a lot of teams out there have the luxury of still fighting for the best record in Major League Baseball and allowing a young player to take his lumps, take his bumps and bruises, and develop at this level. So, yeah, they're definitely building for the future and the present with Roki Sasaki.
It is DMAC and Reiter here on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports. I was just looking at him, and Sammy, you got to go 4-box here. When I bring up you and Bursch, you got to 4-box it. Bursch like sitting up straight, like doing his hair. Sammy and Bursch, what's up, dudes? Have been crushing it in getting the comments for the mailbag that's coming up in just a few minutes. There are some very funny, very good comments. If you want to go after me, you've done that. If you want to go after Doug, you've done that. If you want to go after all those Major League Baseball owners who didn't do what the Dodgers have done, you've done that. If you want to talk about Skubal, you've done that. We want more comments. Get in the comment section on YouTube at The Fan LA, at The Fan LA. You know how you and I are a little slap happy, maybe from the Skubal news? So are the people that are watching the show, because some of these are really funny and a little out there.
I'm here for it. Let's see what we got.
And you're coming like post. You're going to Barcelona, which you're right.
Yep.
I love LA and Barcelona, two best cities in the world. It's going to remind you a lot of LA. It's like LA in the Mediterranean with a little bit of Brooklyn vibe. You You got some like mean-spirited thing you're doing that your friends and you were cooking up?
I do. It's extremely mean-spirited. You're gonna have a very angry look on your face. I can guarantee these things. This is not. I think you might. I guarantee these things. So
I'm gonna be pissed off.
You're gonna be pissed.
I'm gonna be like, I missed you, and then you're gonna be like, bah,
It's gonna absolutely kill the vibes. You're gonna be upset that I even came back. Like you're like
not possible.
Yeah.
Never possible. You know what?
I can't wait, actually. Yeah.
You haven't even left yet, and I freaking miss you, man.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we're still rocking here, baby.
All right, so the Dodgers Dodgers still up 3-2 after one?
3-2 after one.
Pitching duel.
Exactly, right?
At Wrigley Field.
Robleski. What is going on?
Rono.
The Robleski.
Justin Rono. You know what I'm saying?
That Robleski regression's real, man.
This is DMAC and Reiter. It is the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. We are the only sports talk radio station in Southern California on the FM. You can call us anytime you want at 855-97-LA-FAN. You can also stream the show. You can also watch it later if you miss it at The Fan LA on YouTube at The Fan LA. Your Skubal and DMAC and Reiter, it turns out, questions from the mailbag next on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. DMAC and Reiter, presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, visit calldowntown.com. That's calldowntown.com, or you can text injury help to 40222. It is 3-2 Dodgers in the second right now. Top of the second inning, and my favorite player, someone that you sort of doubt, Shohei Ohtani, is currently batting.
Yeah, just swung and missed. That knee's looking good, though.
Are you ready for the mailbag?
Yes.
All right.
My favorite parts of the show. I love the mailbag.
Donnie Boy 05. L.A. over Chicago is one thing, but Dodger Stadium over Wrigley, GTFO. That's directed at you. I'm not going to lie, I thought it too. Dude, what are you talking about? There's no place like Wrigley, man.
Yeah, Dodger Stadium's better. You get the San Gabriel Mountains as a bigger stadium.
It's not.
I love Wrigley. Wrigley's great. The great nostalgia there. But I think the Dodger Stadium with the backdrop of the tradition
I know you don't think. I can tell now. I've learned.
No,
I can tell.
I like it for different reasons. Me personally, I grew up at Dodger Stadium, so I'm going to prefer Dodger Stadium. I can also acknowledge, though, that Wrigley in Fenway.
I've never been to Fenway. I've walked past it 10 times.
Wrigley's better than Fenway. Fenway's pretty cool, but
taking Dodger Stadium out of it, what would you rank your top 5 ballparks?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say, I hate to say this,
in order.
Number 1. Yeah. I'll start 5-1 though. 5, okay. I'll go
number 5.
Atlanta, Truist Park.
Okay, I haven't been there.
It's really good. A lot of the players love to play there. 4.
Number 4.
I'll go
That's funny.
The Miami Marlins Stadium.
I haven't been to
It's indoors.
Here's awesome.
There's a vibe to it. The ball plays pretty well.
We're one of 4 people that were there.
Yeah. Well, WC was cracking. But here's my big 3.
Number 3.
Number 3, I'll go Wrigley for 3. I'll go Wrigley for 3.
Is there a ballpark on the moon I don't know about? 3?
Wrigley's great.
You've
but here's the thing,
lost
though.
your damn
It only has the Ivy for not the entire year. And also too, it's like a tourist attraction. It's you go to the crowd and you ask the people at Wrigley to name one bullpen member for the Cubs.
I'm not asking you to assess their fans. I'm asking you to assess the ballpark.
The ballpark feels like a tourist attraction to me.
Number 2. I don't want to hear any more of this.
Number 2.
Disappointed you.
Dodger Stadium South, Petco Park. It's a great stadium. It's like the Dodgers fans' beach house down there. We take it over.
It is a cool spot, too.
It's a really good spot. Great food.
I'm designing this so you don't pander.
There's no pandering.
It's okay.
Wait. I'm this outside Dodger Stadium, so let's keep moving.
Number 1.
I hate to say this.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Oracle, San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's a great ballpark. Awesome. It's right by the Cove. It's right by the water. I think the different seating arrangements there are really cool. The press box, it has the best press box in all of baseball. You're right behind home plate. So I hate to say it, that's my number 1.
Got picked off by the
Did
way.
he?
But he didn't.
Wow.
I don't think.
Jeez, come on, Big Show.
It looks like maybe they're challenging. He looked safe to me. Tony J4, question for DMAC. Give us a analysis. The words smushed together, and I read that wrong. An analysis of Bubic and what role do the Dodgers see him filling?
So I believe you mentioned earlier about Brandon Gomes saying they're going to try to get him in the bullpen in some capacity. But as far as just his scouting report, this is not a flamethrower, 4-seam fastball sitting around 92, 93 miles per hour. Gets a great extension to the plate, though, so it plays up better. He's got the big sweeper-slider combination. He was throwing a curveball for a couple years, but essentially ditched that for a more effective slider. Also, his signature pitch is his changeup. He's got a low to mid-80s changeup. It's one of those worm killer type ones where it's about creating soft contact. So, yeah, I mean, his strength really is his ability to miss bats, miss barrels, and I think for Bubic, it's a high-level arm if you can get him the right opportunity. I mean, this is a guy who made an all-star team, and that's saying something. What he does best, though, of anything else is he's got above-average strikeout stuff in the 65th percentile, but I think the best version of him is...
Ohtani's out. Sorry to interrupt you.
Is he out?
Yeah, got picked off.
Did he get picked off?
Yeah.
Oh, so he did get picked off, and they reviewed it, and he was out.
They ruled him safe on the pickoff play at first base. The Cubs manager challenge.
Really?
After a lengthy review, did you watch this, Bursch? He looked safe to me.
Did he?
That was microscopically out. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, I mean, I hope that it's. I hope that it's enough to. I mean, it's got to be a lot to overturn it for Shohei Ohtani.
Did you say earlier on the air that a certain name you found? Am I remembering that incorrectly?
Which one?
I don't want to say.
Wait, I'm curious.
You said this name is fun to say.
Bubich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the air.
Yeah.
I just got it.
No,
many hours later.
I mean, some names are more fun to say than others. I think
Wow. McCain.
McCain,
Reiter.
not as fun. Not as fun.
Bubich.
Bubich, though.
Okay.
That's a classic. So, yeah, give the Dodgers
It's
credit.
a classic.
Yeah.
Bubich is a classic.
I would say instantly.
It's an instant classic.
But, yeah, give the Dodgers credit. I mean, they're out there trying to do everything on the margins from a depth standpoint. And I will say Bubich is not someone I don't think is going to determine whether or not the Dodgers win the World Series. Okay, now I can't say with a straight face. Appreciate that. But, yeah, Bubich is high upside potential. The Dodgers are going to try to maximize him. And really, when you give up Duran, that's not a major prospect to give in return. So I like the deal. I like it. I like it because you can point out the Dodgers did something other than go and get a TARIK SKUBAL. And it shows the dichotomy of how they work.
If they can make Eric Lauer into a 9-0 pitcher, a pitcher in which the Dodgers are 9-0 when he starts, they can make Bubich into someone who's more than just a wonderful name. I will flip you the bird. Hit me up, because I'm in that chat a lot as sports writer. What is it like to cover a deadline like this, regardless of the sport, where some information feels like quicksand until it's confirmed? It's miserable. I hated that. Doing it this way, right? You and I not having to break the news, not having to confirm the news, just getting to reach out to sources in your case and sort of see what it means and just talk about it. I hated. Also, NBA breaking news was terrible because Woj, who I'm friends with, dominated the whole thing and did it really well. And then Shams dominated the whole thing that pretends that he doesn't know how to text Rich Paul to confirm news. So there's a whole other angle to it. I did not love that time of year professionally.
Yeah, I think for baseball and as far as it pertains to the Dodgers is when it becomes big and there's major names, typically Andrew Friedman is going to be so close to the vest. I mean, he said yesterday that he knew an hour before the game, and Dave Roberts was informed of that an hour before the game. So they were sitting on this pretty much feels like most of Saturday, and there were no leaks. So that just shows how the Dodgers do things. Not a lot of leaks. I mean, it's so exciting because these moves are the moves that ultimately determine whether or not the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. You go to 2024, if they didn't trade for Kopech, Edman, and Jack Flaherty, they would not have won the World Series. Last year, you got Ben Rortvedt, who was pivotal down the stretch as a backup, and you got Alex Call. This year's a whole nother level, though. You get TARIK SKUBAL. I think it was a big kind of a middle finger to the rest of the league, saying that we're the big bad Dodgers, we're the top of the food chain, we're not going to back down, we're going to get the best guy and keep away the best guy from you.
That question was directed to me, but I liked your answer.
You know,
it was outstanding. Hey, Bill, what do you think about?
Can you interrupt me?
No, I wanted to let you see how long you went.
I heard it. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. You're a talker. I liked it.
He didn't say both. He said Bill and DMAC, I thought.
No, because that's why the last one. It's all good. I like it. You can answer for me anytime. In fact, Lori wants.
Where's your top 5
Lori has a
ballparks?
question about our marriage. Would you like to? Weigh in? That was mean to me. Andrew Gordon 790. This will give some serious confidence and sigh of relief for Lauer. That's got to feel good.
It does. It does. I mean, he wants to stick around. I mean, he already has earned a World Series ring for this team because you get a ring if that team wins, even if you're not on it at the time. But this is different than last year, right? We saw Dustin May where he had some trade value, and they traded him to Boston. They got James Tibbs III in return. So there was a lot of movement, a lot of teams that were trading for pitchers. The White Sox got Castillo. We saw Gausman on the move. And even though Lauer wasn't a guy that was that good or that high level, let's not forget, this same version of Eric Lauer pitched well against this same Dodgers team last year in the postseason. So he's shown the ability to get out high-level, high-octane offenses in the postseason. So I think, too, his personality, right? Like, they liked having him in that dugout, in that clubhouse, so you earned your spot.
I like your personality. Easy 213. Bill's big swear word hair, though, LMFAO, does he not care about life? Actually, this is the happiest I've been in a long time. I will say this. Our boss, Andrew, told me the hair was, how do you put it today? Basically, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that the... It probably is time for a little bit of a trim, but I like the fro. I like growing it out.
Okay, how about this?
Talk to me.
Bill Reiter doesn't cut his hair until the Dodgers win the World Series this year.
I mean, I'm probably not going to cut my hair anyway, but I'm not going to make.
All right,
any
Lakers
sort of
NBA
cutting
Finals.
Hair. No, that. There's a guy.
Barcelona La Liga.
Is it Man United? Who's the guy that wouldn't cut his hair until Man United finished in the top something or other, and it got. I mean, my hair looks like it's
Ooh.
been shaved by comparison to this guy. Easy has another question. Lakers offseason. Do you think was Guggenheim over Pelinka? I do. This is speculative. I don't know. I haven't had to make those calls in a while. I do think, and I'll be curious your take too, Doug. I do believe Pelinka has not shown himself to operate properly over the course of his tenure as a GM, in my opinion. My best educated guess, I've talked to a few people, but it's really educated guesswork. It was by them too, is that Guggenheim, right? So we know that Friedman and Zaidi were in some of those meetings. I think they probably, as a group, came up with a framework for what a team should look like post LeBron with Luka as the focal point, and then Pelinka was expected to go execute it. So I think let's give Pelinka credit for the execution. I think the plan was probably more Guggenheim.
It's a fascinating question. I think that whatever did transpire between Rob Pelinka and the Lakers and this Dodgers takeover with Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi, guys like that, my big question is, was it just, hey, we've developed an analytics department that's on another level. We've developed a scouting department that's on another level that is telling you we should go sign guys like Mamu or Colin Sexton or Grimes, Walker Kessler, those type of guys? Or were they the ones presenting those players, right? That's the big question to me, because I will say this, I hope they weren't. And I know it sounds crazy, but if this is Rob Pelinka's team and he's the reason why they got Luka Doncic, if they want him to cook the meal, he's got to shop for the ingredients on his own. And
I don't know, man.
If it doesn't work, though, then you can him. That's why.
Yeah, that's real.
'Cause-
Producer Shay has gone into the chat in all caps.
What up, Producer Shay?
Do not touch the hair, Bill. He knows. You know, you like to say people know ball.
Yeah.
Shay knows hair.
I can see that.
And ball. Bruno Gasparetti.
That's your boy.
Lombardi 337. I think it is. It is. Does Bellino love the city of LA more than DMAC? If so, has that become a little toxic? Do I love LA more than you? Yes, I do love LA more than you. Has our relationship become toxic? No, it's perfect.
Wait, you love LA more than me?
Yes.
Oh, come on.
No, like I love the city of LA more than I love Doug McCain. Not I love LA more than Doug McCain.
So you love
This
LA more
happened
than
the
me?
other day with me too. Words matter.
So you love LA more than me?
No. It's not which of us loves LA.
No, I know. I'm saying you love the city of LA more than you love me.
Oh, who's on first?
I'm offended. What's on second?
If I had to say that if I had to rank my love for LA and my love for you, LA would rank ahead of you, even though you're my best friend. You're a great guy.
I'm trying not to be hurt, but I am.
I know. But do you love LA? If you had to rank LA, your love for LA versus your love for me, would you rank LA higher?
No way.
Okay. That's the difference between us, folks. I tell the truth.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Thank you, Bruno, for your question about toxicity.
I love Bill Reiter.
Oh, wow. I thought you zigged. You did zig. I thought you were going to zag. How am I going to feel about you after you get back from Barcelona and pull whatever stunt you're going to pull?
You're going to be like, it might end our friendship, possibly our partnership.
It's long term.
It's pretty hard. It is.
Pleased.
It's as hardcore as I could probably get. That's all I'm going to say.
What you're doing sounds villainous.
It's villainous.
The opposite of being heroic. And that brings me to the fact we're going to reveal the DMAC and Reiter hero of the day next. That's right, on DMAC and Reiter. All right, welcome back into the show. It's DMAC and Reiter. He's Doug McCain. I'm Bill Reiter. Show is presented by DTLA Law Group on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA sports. Accident or injury, text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Justin Wrobleski is struggling. He has given up another 2-run home run, the second of the game. It is Chicago, the Cubbies, 4, your Dodgers 3. Not awesome here in the top of the third inning. 2 innings for Robo, 2 2-run home runs, Mr. McCain.
Dude, I mean, you talk about Wrigley Field, right? Justin Wrobleski clearly likes it, giving up all these souvenirs to fans. Way too many home runs. Way too many home runs.
He is not playing particularly well, and there's just not a lot of room for him to be pitching like this either at a certain point.
I agree. And we've seen this with that kind of pitcher for the Dodgers over the last several years, whether it be a Tony Gonsolin or a Ross Stripling before him.
Gonsolin, yeah.
Guys that have these really good first halves. And I don't think it's a fault of his own. He's still a young pitcher trying to figure this thing out at the big league level, but he does feel like he's out of gas. I mean, Wrobleski has...
You think that's what it is? You think he's hit his wall?
I think he's hit a little bit of wall. I think... It's been a long season for him. He's been relied upon to cover a lot of innings because of the injuries to the starting rotation. And at some point, the law of regression, man, it's going to get to you. And a lot of his stuff was out of whack as far as some of the numbers that would say that he was due for some negative regression. But still, I mean, heading into the start, a 2.88 ERA. So a very, very productive year that I think he overachieved for sure. But hey, you got TARIK Skubal, so no one's worried, right?
I mean, that's the thing is... It doesn't matter for the Dodgers. It may matter for Robo.
It might. I mean, I think for someone like Wrobleski, a young pitcher that might have some questions about what his role looks like when everyone's healthy, he knows that the golden child is Roki Sasaki, right? And I think that ultimately, if I had to guess right now, I would say they probably send Emmett Sheehan down to the minors at some point when everyone gets healthy. But Robo, he's kind of pitching for his life at some point.
We have a final verdict on the hero of the day. And I, for the first time in my life, feel like you. Because the pander is not a fair word. It's a pejorative. The connection. The connection, Doug. It worked for me this time.
Did it?
It did. Because the winner is Andrew Friedman.
Oh.
With 74% of the votes. Thank you. But it's a team effort. It's a team. I'm not taking, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take a victory lap here.
Trying to take a page out of my book?
I am, yeah. I'm trying
Are
to,
you?
Yeah.
No,
How's it working?
That was...
Did I do it wrong?
You said it with your chest. You wanted Andrew Friedman.
Andrew Friedman!
I don't try to name names because I think they're going to win. I name names because they're my heroes.
Nope.
I really do. And Andrew Friedman, hey, hero of the day, hero of the decade. I mean, he's the hero of the Dodgers. He certainly is. Best in the game. Best to do it.
What would be the one thing you would ask Andrew Friedman if you could wave a magic wand and he wouldn't get mad at you for asking the question?
Ooh, about this year's team?
Anything.
Man, that's a really good question. I would probably say, does it bother you that you think that does it bother you that people think that the Dodgers' success is because of the money? And what would you say to that? Because I feel like I think from Dodgers fans, we know he's the GOAT for sure, but I also think that there's this perception that the Dodgers can spend and they can do whatever they want financially, which gives them that. And also, too, I would want to know, did they ever truly make an offer with Corey Seager, too? Because that's something that could have changed the Dodgers' history.
That's interesting.
Because he said that they were willing to match what the Rangers were going to give him.
Man, Robo's getting hit hard.
Is he really?
One out double, but just like, I mean, that thing, a little higher, that thing's gone, too.
Oh, man. He's getting rocked.
He's getting rocked, dude. He's getting rocked at Wrigley. Here, you know what I would ask him if I could do truth serum? And this is going to sound disrespectful to Dave Roberts, and maybe it is. I don't intend it to be. I would like to know from Andrew Friedman to what extent he has pulled strings that people are like, oh, it's all Friedman, and if and when that stopped.
Ooh. That's a good one.
I bet it's nuanced, right? I bet in the beginning, as Friedman tried to establish post-Mattingly what he wanted from his skipper, he probably was really involved, right? And I bet if we knew that, people would construe that as Andrew Friedman was actually the guy, whereas it is more likely Andrew Friedman was helping to create the culture and the sort of decision-making sort of matrix that he wanted. Like, to get Dave Roberts where you want, you have to work with him maybe to sort of build. I bet there's so much trust now that he doesn't have to give as much input because I'm sure Dave Roberts sort of understands what the general philosophy is.
That's a really good one, I think. Another one on top of that.
Did he just hit another? Is that another 2-run home run? He just gave up a third. Robo just gave up a third.
We've got live batting practice.
Am I right on this? Oh my! I was kind of hoping my phone accidentally reversed on because I'm watching on my phone. Nope, that's 6-3. Dude.
Wow. I think other two ones would be how much input does the front office actually give to Dave Roberts for in-game moves? Like,
that's it.
Is it as far as there's an earpiece saying, "Hey, put in Edwin Diaz, put in Tanner Scott, hey, pinch hit for this guy, that guy." Also, too, how close did they ever get to firing Dave Roberts? I think would be one.
Oh, what was the closest?
I think after 2023, when they lost the Diamondbacks, maybe they were considering it. They kind of gave him a vote of confidence pretty early on, but I would say they maybe probably around 20% at the very most because they feel like he's the perfect guy for what they have in line for him. So other thing would be really interesting, anything Shohei Ohtani related as far as
if we had True Serum, it'd be like scale 0 to 100, and to what degree does Ohtani actually speak fluent English? 100.
I would have said, hey, did you ever think that you were going to lose Shohei when that whole betting thing came out? Like, did you actually feel like maybe you were going to potentially lose him? But
oh man, can you imagine before they knew the details, the fear that was before they knew
just kind of what went through your soul?
Wind is blowing out at Wrigley, but not very much, 6 miles per hour.
Robleski is getting rocked. 6-3 Cubs right now, bottom of the third inning.
I mean, it's a very, very, very light breeze. I'm trying to find a little silver lining for Robleski, but I'm more silver lying. Is what I'm doing there. Man, he just looks pained. He just looks like a guy who's just, bro, he may not get out of the fourth inning.
This could get ugly pretty quickly here. And he has been able to stay in and make starts when he's given up some runs so you don't tax the bullpen like that. But look, better now than ever, right? I mean, I think for Robleski, you are always going to have to kind of recalibrate the role that he has for this team. And I like that. There's going to be a healthy sense of competition for those other spots in the rotation that aren't going to be manned by some of those aces. So I'm not totally against it, really. I mean, Robleski's had a great season. I think he's kind of gotten this far, but you got to give him a lot of love for what he's been able to achieve this year. But now with these two starts back-to-back, clearly there's something wrong. And let's not forget, too, this is a Dodgers team that wants to finish with the best record in baseball because when you do that, you avoid that wild card round and you give yourself home field advantage throughout. For anyone that says that doesn't mean anything, well, guess what? They had that in 2024 and they were able to win the World Series. So I think that they want to play the least amount of games they have to so they can win those 11 games in October. And Robleski can't go out there and just serve live home run derby with a pitch clock. So
he can't win, bro. He just struck a dude out, but I got overturned on a
did it? So it's one of those days for Robo.
And it was a millimeter. Tomorrow, I don't know if you're up for doing this. It'd be sort of cool. We sort of discussed this earlier here on DMAC and Reiter on the new 97.1 The Fan, the voice of LA Sports, because we're going to keep doing all kinds of Skubal talk tomorrow and analysis of the trade deadline. We got you covered. Would you be up for power ranking, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in that order, the 5 biggest National League threats to the Dodgers and how the trade deadline impacted, or maybe lack of moves impacted, where those rankings are at?
I think we should. We absolutely should.
Because I am all, as much as people correctly, erroneously think I like to give you a hard time, I also just love your analysis.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying? The end of the game.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. Hey, we're post-deadline. We're post-All-Star break.
We got there.
Before we know it, we're going to be talking October postseason baseball, so it's time to lock into all things Dodger baseball because that race for 3 titles, that road to three-peat, man, we're on it, man.
Is that a final road to three-peat? We're going to workshop a little bit?
Workshop, yeah.
We're workshopping it.
Road to three-peat is not.
You're just talking.
Yeah, we gotta find something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want alliteration or can I help?
You can.
That's your thing. I mean, I don't want to.
Three-peat.
You know what I'm saying?
Three-peat.
What did I say
3
earlier?
straight worlds. That was funny. That was funny.
Oh, you know what you are? You're from the Wild Wild Wordsmith.
Pew, pew, pew. Well, there's a snake in my boot.
What is that from?
That's from the Woody doll about my daughter.
That's
yeah.
right.
But yeah, I mean, there probably has been the last couple. There's been some moves. I mean, even this Cubs team looks pretty good, right?
They do. They do.
They look like their team that wants to send a message in this series. And we got Dansby Swanson at the plate.
Padres made some additions. I mean, yeah.
Padres are sneaky to me. I mean, that's a team that I would at least want to face in the wild card round if you're the Dodgers, just because the Dodgers bring the best out of the Padres.
They lift them up.
Yeah.
It's the little brother thing again.
It is. And the Dodgers are their World Series every year.
Brewers got Justin May.
That's a crazy one.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, the Cubs were, as I sort of look at the Cubs were aggressive.
Give them credit.
They got Braxton Garrett. They got Clay Holmes, who we discussed. I mean, there's some Casey Mize.
I like
Padres.
Clay Holmes.
Everything's going to be okay. The Cubs obviously got Kevin Gausman at over the weekend from the Blue Jays. Who else we got here? All right, we'll do it tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about it.
Let's hit it.
Do you you know your friends your friends are always in the chat? Give me a hard time. Did they ever bring up the fact that you surrendered the word off? Like you went to the boss and said, "Can we put a stop to it?"
I never did that. I never did
So
that.
that's
I
a
never
no.
would do that. I'm here for it.
They look the other way.
I
make
sometimes
eye
I
contact.
listen to those older episodes and I'm like, how did I not get some of the credits for some of the gems I was dropping? You're impressive too.
You don't because you didn't.
Are you kidding me?
Thank you. You're impressive.
We should go back and do our top 20 versus the top 20. That was an era, man. Jeez.
I think the show's over.
Oh.
This was a lot of fun. Skubal's a Dodger. We'll do more of it tomorrow. I lost track.
Overtime.
Thank you for hanging out. He's Doug
Extra
Buchanan.
innings.
I'm Bill Reiter. We're best friends. We'll see you tomorrow here on DMAC and Reiter.